I promise I'll make it worth your while.
Yes.
I have plans.
Whoa, sorry.
Yeah.
How much am I
I
music?
can't wait for this, guys. We're gonna do some con girl shit, not hot girl shit. We're gonna do some con girl shit.
Oh.
Cannot wait.
I spent some time when I was supposed to be working today, looking up the greatest cons of all time performed by women. For inspiration.
Yes.
Oh.
I love that.
Yep.
We've been watching Downton Abbey for the first time, and one of them was like, "I'm going to make an investment with this Ponzi fellow over in America." I thought that was a great little reference. They were showcasing how much of a bad investor the guy was, and I thought that was a clever little historical plug. Awesome. We are in it to win it. We are on. The VOD is going. So last time you shopped, just opened up with you all in Calum's extra dimensional hangout casino, and you all rested, started discussing perhaps like paths forward, what you want to do, things to buy. Neffy, your, I don't want to call him your patron right now, but your business associate, guide and business associate was like, well, I'm going to be meeting this lady. You guys might want to tag along. I think you would enjoy it. I think you guys should meet. And he had a little crystalline bell that he used to essentially some sort of teleportation to take him to a ship. And it was in the world of Sigil. I say world. Town? A city, I should say. Probably one of the most infamous cities in the whole multiverse in D&D lore. The City of Doors, led by the Lady of Pain. And on her beautiful ship, this fusion of wood and crystal is kind of her theme. Quartz being very popular on it. And he went and had a meeting, and you met her assistant, this young man with dark features, dark skin, a little bit of a chip on his shoulder kind of vibe to him.
Oh yeah, I know who I'm fighting.
Yeah, and so Neffy had mentioned and advised that the lady Lyra Viza is very proper in her own way. I'm just dropping her name again in the chat.
That's a tough one.
Lyra Viza. Lyra Veza. Lyra Veza. It's one I made up and wrote out and came up with, and even you gotta start saying it sometime, right? Lyra Veza. Lyra Veza.
Lady Lily.
You can try calling her that. Go for it. Go for it. And as Neffy is she's a very proper lady, doesn't like dickering, but you've went into her more like extra dimensional space on the ship itself, which is like this almost high-end boutique vibe. All these beautiful items on these pedestals, crystal pedestals, like floating in the air, which I did link the sheet with all those items in it. And so you kind of started negotiating, talking about that. She herself is a woman. She does seem like a woman of stature in her own way. They call her lady. And then she also has dark complexion with a silver motif, almost like these silver tattoos in her skin. And then her hair I love, which is like crystalline, but almost light. And so it kind of like jingles slightly as she moves around. She also has this beautiful tiara and these like gems kind of floating around her head as she speaks with you all. And it's like very form-fitting, very flowing gown. There also was a scary robot thing somewhere in there that she kind of referred to it not being for sale. Don't remember how much she talked to you about that. But you also learned that she is a gatherer of information, knowledge / stories. And when she says stories, she's not just looking for fictional stories. She wants to know your stories, your experiences. First eye-hand witnesses of the going-ons of the multiverse. And the more grand, the more impactful in the multiverse, the more was interested into it. So I think everyone here, right, except for Warden. I know we need to get back to Warden's and Charlie's Calum. Unfortunately, he's not able to make it tonight, but we'll always be able to walk it back for him if he wants to do anything. You all told stories of different capacities and scopes, some a little bit more personal, some a little bit more grand. And so she paid you all in platinum, and all of your memories or memory/stories were manifested into these like gems of different sorts, kind of representing the person who stole it, more of like a reflection of their quote unquote soul or their being. And she like collects them, and she has paid you all good platinum. I would say this moment, it's more like this is on your tab if you want it, and you said yes, and then afterwards there would be anything left over that you're owed, she would pay. And we're still there in that moment as there's this very like within this boutique vibe was then the let's sit down and talk business. Would you like some tea, lounge chairs? There wasn't enough for such a big crew, but then more appeared as you guys were like kind of sitting down. So for those who are maybe been just like, I can just imagine Archie in the background, just kind of like, oh, I want to touch something. You know, I need to do something, like ADHD going crazy or something in the background. But you've all been taking turns, telling stories and having a conversation. Anybody want to add anything to the last session? Oh, like after, it's a little detail, but Neffy spoke to her privately, and then he returned an older wizard who seemed to be an important wizard. His appointment got pushed back so that you all could meet with the lady, and he was creating a little bit of a hubbub on the ship. But you can get a sense of an appointment schedule with her, but then even someone quote unquote maybe more important or more interesting might bump somebody on the schedule, and there's only so much maybe you can do, as that guy was very upset about it. Anybody else want to mention anything? Cool.
Nope.
I think we ended with Ishka, right? I think Ishka finished her story last.
Breaking the chains.
Breaking the chains.
Breaking the chains. Okay, sorry. That was good. That was good. And do you remember what you described your gem or precious gem like?
I think
lady?
I said diamond.
Diamond.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So she,
like a diamond.
and like the diamond
Sorry,
kind
I'm
of
full of them today.
the diamond kind of floats up, and she kind of comes back to your hand, and she kind of takes it. Stories of the Raven Queen and a potential confrontation in the future.
Mhm.
Beautiful. And you see she kind of like goes down into like a bag of holding style, more like a side pouch, right? Something very small but very elegant. Do any of you have any more stories to sell? Or knowledge?
How much was she offering for my origin story again?
I have that written down in like chicken scratch somewhere on my paper. Wait, for which story? Like the story you already told?
No, the origin story that I was gonna tell, but I was like, like the real story of like Lorelai getting one over on the entire.
Oh,
of
yeah. I forgot you didn't
Waterdeep.
actually tell your story, did you?
Yeah, because I wasn't, because like there's like, I mean, what are the chances of someone actually like buying this?
Oh, that's right.
Am?
Because the discussion
But
was, like someone
this
could
is
walk
D&D.
in. Yeah, someone could walk in and ask about it.
Nate could decide he wants someone to walk in, and
Nate loves
like,
melodrama,
that's how,
so
that's how this might work. I could.
yeah. I don't think she gave you a price, right? Because it was more about after you told the story and what details and what the beats were,
Okay.
and what scale it was. Then she gave like her offer to
I
it.
don't think I'm gonna risk it. So I really want Hiromi to tell the story of the first time that she ate a
Committed
friend.
murder.
Ate her companions.
And then the result, and we could tag team it if you want, because I can do the resultant, like everything went to shit so terribly that and I'm like, outside of the player not liking this moment, it's an epic story of like some time traveler coming and saving our butts and sending us back in time because we fucked up so badly that it would have destroyed the world,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean,
because we were, yeah.
yeah, I think she'd be like reluctant to share it, but ultimately, like, she wouldn't want to hide from it because that would be like weakness. So she's very much like,
That's true.
I'm gonna face, what I've done.
Maybe this could be a moment for her as she's reflecting of like taking ownership, right? Not shying away from it and just seeing everyone else kind of, Ishka has just straight up told a person like, I'm going to take on the Raven of Queen. Like I'm going to the Queen of the Raven of Queens, the Queen of Ravens, the Raven Queen. Like that's pretty brave, right? So maybe that's like an inspiration. to her in some way.
Raven of Queens is kind of cool too.
Raven of
Yeah.
Queen.
That's true.
Oh, a little
would be
side note,
interesting.
Neffy did have a conversation with Hiromi, right? Just kind of inquiring
Mhm.
about her angelic bloodline,
Mm-hmm.
celestial blood.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he said keep it under wraps. But only in hell. This isn't, I mean, hell. Exactly.
We're not in hell anymore.
You're not in hell
Yeah,
anymore.
That's true. That's true. I think she did mention, yeah, something. What did say? I wrote it down. I think she just said her family history, how
Yeah, and like
yeah,
the story of
in the
the
war,
Mhm.
yeah, between the
Oh yeah, I
King
broke down
and
celestial backgrounds, so I think you in the war
Yeah.
with the mind flayers
Yep, yep,
and Akumu's awakening.
yeah, and yeah, she let Akumu share his story.
Mm. And then he ate
Yeah.
many creatures of various powers. I like this actually as a little segue. Akumu at some point had probably mentioned, and they did not let me eat the Dragon Queen. And after like Ishka like finishes her conversation, I know you still got stuff, Warden.
Mhm.
She's like,
Can I add one more thing before we move on from the story of
Oh.
the time travel thing?
oh
Just
yes,
a spin on it, or like a theme that Laura, when she's telling like her perspective on that story, that Lorelai would interject would be like we were, you know, there was such a big burden on our shoulders as a group to like, to solve this issue that was happening or whatever, and we were so stubborn and we couldn't get along that we fucked up so badly that we had to get sent to another parallel dimension back in time in order to like learn to finally work together and actually solve some problems instead of just create more chaos,
Mhm.
which I feel like is very indicative of how our group started.
and that's
Mhm.
when you confronted the mother of dragon.
Eventually, yeah, I mean, our journey did take us there.
You must understand that there's very curious lack of information and occurrences around her banishment back to the hells. And she kind of just gives this very knowing smile. As you know, those who know, time was changed that day.
Mm-hmm.
Fates will change that day. My own life was steered in a different direction. I now live two
Say check
parallel
that.
lives. Yeah, go ahead.
When she says life was steered in a different direction, I'm curious if she that to her seemed to have a negative or a positive connotation, like for the better,
Okay.
for the worse.
Okay, looking for better, for worse.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and roll insight.
It's coming. 22.
22. She's a pretty straightforward person so far. It seems that the indication, a slight smile, could read it both ways. Like she seems to be that not good or bad. It's just a new direction. In
New
life.
direction.
Yeah. She has no bitterness, at least, though. You didn't get any sense of that.
Yep.
And
Sorry.
this was the order, correct? Who steered you on your
The
way.
order that did this.
I've known their hands to be in many different projects. I must say, that is bold of them to shape time itself. It's no criticism. I know what the outcome was with Vlakith at the helm. That was a brief moment of a tyrannical god unchained.
Yeah,
That
that was a scary moment here too, right? For you
everywhere.
guys.
She was a god unbound by any rules or laws of existence, or just power in itself. Whether a good or bad god in that position, that's not a multiverse I would like to live in. So you've told me your journeys of time traveling all stemming from the eating of some companions, which I find very
Hello.
morbid,
Rip.
to a confrontation with the Mother of Dragons to fix time itself and to save the multiverse. That is a wonderful story, and may I be bold to assume that I am the first to hear your story told in such a documented manner? Or how many other people have you spoken of this to? Beyond those for such as in the Order who would have been partaking in it.
How many people did we actually tell? I know there was people that we kind of kept hush-hush over it. I'm trying to remember. Was Question one of them?
And yeah, as like besides like someone like Question who would who like experience a lot of that, maybe some of you have talked down, but on this scale, right? You all speaking from the very beginning, right? From the because if correct me if I'm wrong, but like Akumu, Hiromi eating people, the sudden need, somebody seeing the Order, seeing like there's something happened there in that moment that kind of steered timelines, or they saw that you were needed in one of the realities, right? Going all the way to the beginning, because for Question, it might have just been like, oh yeah, these people, they travel the multiverses, cool, and they can see like when time needs to be fixed, and you guys were picked and they went, right? Like maybe I don't think too many people probably know the story from beginning, right?
Yeah.
The Misfits might not know, right? The Misfits were kind of pulled into this kind of like, you guys know some people and like some of you work for this place and we're connected somehow, and she's connected, our friend, and then we're okay, cool. We're here for the party, man. It's not the weirder shit, like Archie over here has got his weird shit going on, like this is par for the core, and like jumped in, right? They might not even heard the story from the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Very few people know.
Yeah. Well,
Like really, probably no one.
I like to imagine that all of you contributed to this story, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, does anybody have an idea for what I don't know gemstones? Is there like a gem that's very almost rainbow in color, or like something very?
Opals are very
like
have lots of
that
different
one
colors.
mineral bismuth.
Mm-hmm.
Can you spell
That's
bismuth?
not a gem, but
I think opal would be the closest. I think.
Bismuth is so cool. It's Bismuth.
Oh, I'm sorry. Say that again. I wasn't listening to you actually.
Bismuth.
BISM.
It's not really a gem, but it looks really cool.
I'm cool with things just being a little different. Bismuth.
You know how I said it? My diamond, not that.
Ooh.
My gem was a diamond. I remember it's actually a tanzanite, is what I said.
Tanzanite.
It is. You're
That's
right.
yeah.
I like bismuth as this just kind of, especially representing kind of like the weirdness of the story and the time
very
stuff.
Geometrical. It's weird.
Yeah, it's geometric and very eclectic, and it's almost not uniform, right? So the idea that you're all kind of adding to the story and growing it.
Mm-hmm.
If everyone's okay with it, I almost like imagine like your group storytelling is like bismuth in nature when it's manifest.
Yeah.
Yeah. 80,000 gold for such a unique story.
Yeah, you guys. That can buy us so many of the things we need. Lorelai does not say that out loud. She's very coolly accepting. Yes, that sounds right. That sounds about right.
I don't think an insight check has been needed by anybody. Like you would see her like longing on her face or like her desire. She's looking at the one ring right now. Like this information, this knowledge, and the story, your eyewitness accounts from the heroes who did what they did is just priceless almost.
It's gonna sell big.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I guess she did say she would sell it in her own way.
It's
But
gonna, it's gonna be very coveted.
Coveted.
She could sell the listening experience to this and like make lots of money over a long period of time instead of just selling this one stone.
Which she does. I think she kind of vaguely mentioned that, but she does say like, if there's any information you're needing on any subjects or peoples of the multiverse, maybe it's in my library. If you'd like to pay for it, you would know.
I would lean over to Hiromi.
I was about to say.
And say, Hey, you know that big old bad enemy of yours that took over your country? Any
Yes.
weaknesses he's got? Dirty laundry?
Yeah, she kind of like nods her head. I forgot the own name to the shogun that I gave.
Sorry.
One moment, hold on. Oh yeah,
It's
I
been a
got it.
long journey.
I know.
It happens. I forgot Jimmy Buffett's name earlier, so I'm gonna feel bad.
That's a little different than foreign language name that
Hey,
hard to
I never claimed to be a smart man.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the one I sent you.
I know we've worked on it so much. I'm like,
I know. Let's see.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
type
total.
it
That's
in
the same thing. I don't know what you're talking about.
I have Saito Yami.
Yeah.
Saito.
Shogun Saito.
So you wanna okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
We're listening.
Yeah, I guess she'll step forward. Do you have any information on a man named Saito Yami, the shogun of Kozakura?
So this is gonna come down to a roll if she knows it, right?
Okay.
I'm not gonna say it's a hard DC, but we really are dealing with somebody who travels the multiverse. So
Mm-hmm.
like there is the whole like what are the odds that she has information, right? So there's odds involved. I don't think there's like a modifier or anything for this. It's gonna be a D20 roll. Don't roll yet. I want to decide on is this like a coin flip or I'm gonna make it a coin flip. So essentially 10 or higher, she knows something perhaps about Saito Yami.
Okay. I'm gonna roll it from Archie's sheet. Make it easier.
She's like, I know something about him.
God damn it.
You could use inspiration on this D20 roll if you want it, or if anybody wants to give it.
I know. Let me see. Oh, Hiromi does have inspiration. Yeah, fuck it. This is like the once in a chance thing.
Okay. Your story, as I've said, with the Mind Flayer War, was not completely foreign to me. And I know you have connections to that. I have some information on this Saito Yami in the country of Kusakura. What kind of information are you seeking?
I don't know if she has like a specific question. I guess
That's
she
the hard
would
part, right?
ask. I know.
Remember, she knows stories and accounts and knowledge, right?
I guess she would ask, do you know the current state of Kozakura and the Shogun?
Some information came across our ship, the Swift Incandescent, maybe 4 months ago. Peculiar information. Stories of a country in upheaval. If you want information on the story I've heard, I could share it with you for 1,000 gold pieces.
Yeah, she'll definitely hand that over.
Very well. One moment. And she kind of stands up and kind of goes over to a blank space in her walls, and you just see like a very Lord of the Rings door of whatever, like the I don't remember the name of the door, but it's not the door of Durin, is it? But the a door kind of lights up with runes, and then it's like, oh, a door forms there and like opens up, and she kind of goes into a space, and beyond you see her like storage, right, quote unquote, for all of the gems and all the stories and the knowledge, and you just see them stretching off, and like the door closes behind her. So you guys do have a moment as she goes to maybe perhaps put some of your gems away in diamonds, and or to return with the information that you're seeking.
The mines of Moria.
Speak, friend, and enter. Cool.
Yeah. Hiromi's pretty
All right.
tense right now. She's like statue tense.
Can I get like the real like the 5-second Cliff Notes version? My dad just called and he never called, so I wanted to make sure that like no one died.
Nothing. You didn't miss anything yet. She has gone to get Hiromi's information. There's just a space here where you're all alone in her space. If anyone wanted to say anything or do anything, that's all kind of it.
Oh, I turned to everyone and just essentially exchange a priorities list of like, I think we need to get this, 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 and this. And what do you guys think? We've got 80,000 gold to bargain with and trade with now for the from the group fund. That would be a great place to buy this stuff from. I think we need some stuff to heal us, and we need some more potions. She's just gonna like talk about the cool stuff that we need to buy. From a realistic perspective, I think the dragon vessel would be really helpful because that is going to give us a potion of superior healing every single day if we remember to use it. Like that's
Pretty
that's
good.
big. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's 3,000 gold's worth of stuff a day.
Anyone else have anything to sell?
I think we sold all our stuff last time. Everyone looked through their sheets and
Well,
we
I
sold
mean
our
like or stories or knowledge because I still.
Well, you've
have
got something coming, I know.
Yeah.
I am personally buying for myself the Amulet of the Plains. You are all welcome to utilize that. But
I will have two. Well, I guess I'll have an attunement slot open. Maybe.
I made an attunement slot for the amulet. Thank you, Nate, for your generosity in allowing me to merge 2 of my items. And I think, and I'm going to get the mirrors, the long distance talking mirrors.
Okay.
Did someone say that they thought we needed the platinum scarf? Was that the one that you were going to? No, someone needed to attune to that who didn't have healing. I could attune to that if we needed me to. Instead of the amulet, because the amulet I can just like I can attune to over a short rest whenever we need to plane hop.
I could also do it. Ooh,
But
the
you
platinum
have
scarf could be
healing,
a fucking
right?
Well, I can have healing. I don't have it right now.
Oh, okay.
The scarf was the
Breath of life.
The
So
scarf
you
could be a
have
fancy like
yeah, that's
a
blindfold.
fancy
could.
fucking
Yeah.
whatever blindfold.
So essentially, 3 times a day, you can heal for 10d4 hit points by
That
pulling a
works for
skill.
Warden too because he's very.
That's pretty
Yeah.
amazing.
that's crazy.
That's pretty much a supreme healing potion 3 times a
Yeah.
day.
And the shield's
wear
not
that.
bad either.
Okay. Because you're very mobile too, so you could get that to anyone who's down.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's touch.
Yeah,
Mhm.
10d4 could be
For
like
sure.
life saving.
Yeah.
Good.
I got the
I can
deck
attune
of
to the dragon
Dimming
vessel
Shield.
then. What
Is
other
the dragon vessel attunement?
it is, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think everything on there is attunement.
I think
mean, we
platinum
could-
scarf.
the dragon
platinum
vessel-
scarf is better than this. I think.
I agree. But the dragon vessel, we could I mean, realistically, the dragon vessel, like, you could at the beginning of a long rest attune to it, spend an hour attuning to it, and then pour the potion into a potion bottle, and then unattune to it and reattune back to your whatever.
I think it.
I
I guess yeah,
reattune
that's
back to my
true.
armor.
Yeah. Okay. Do we have money for that?
We have 80,000 to work with. We're doing pretty well. Just that's
Wow.
not even anything she paid us individually.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I think
And
we
even
get
if we
both of
want to
them
buy
then,
like
no?
information too, Hirumi's information only cost 1,000 gold. So information seems to
So
be
the Dragon
relatively
Vessel's 30 and the
inexpensive.
Platinum Scarf is 40.
Okay, so we have
Um,
10.
There we go.
We have 5,000 gold in the bag of holding, so we have 15,000 more to work with.
Could buy
We
some secure healing
have
potions, maybe.
Also, between Hiromi and Archie, I have 84,000 gold.
I am not sharing with the
Are you gonna buy anything?
What were you were going to
Hiromi's
say something, Megan?
alone.
Yeah, we have I have group money 51,000 gold
Nice.
and then
Wow.
Samaris also has almost 45,000 that there's nothing on here that I'm like because I like the stuff I have with my attunement slots, so
Mhm.
there's nothing that I'm like, oh, I like really want to get that. So she could throw some money, good chunk of money towards one of those things or like
I
potions
will
or something.
say, I don't know if anyone's looked at it, but Nolzur's Marvelous Pigments.
That's what Megan, you said you were going to get, right?
Oh, you
Yeah,
are
I was
getting that.
thinking
Okay,
about
good.
I was thinking about it. I'm
It's
worried I'm not
really
creative enough.
good.
We can
Uh,
we'll all come up with fun ways to use that.
Okay.
Yeah,
If
that's
you're
a
open to it. If
really
you're
good
open
item,
to
and
like
it's
suggestions
not
of, like this
attunement.
could be a
Yeah,
fun thing to do with
definitely.
today.
It's not
Definitely.
attunement.
Exactly, and that's not attunement. It's just a barrel of laughs.
Yeah.
What is the Nimbus Coronet?
Get a little cloud.
Oh. Well, I don't need that.
I love this deck of dimensions. It's so cool.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna let you guys know too, just so you guys aren't like sidelined by it. I think I vaguely mentioned that you'll have opportunities to upgrade the decimator,
Oh yeah.
desecrator.
Mhm.
Yes.
Essentially, a lot
I
of
might
that's
wanna
playing
do
out
that.
to like 2,000 gold for like a +1. And the way I'm looking, like if we get into mechanics of the stuff, it's like we made this attack a +1 attack if it comes up, but at the very least, every 2,000 gold you invest in it, time and such also having to be a factor. It's a +1 to like if Somaris needs to do a narrative roll.
Narrative roll.
Yeah.
Right. Cool.
So those,
I mean,
yeah,
yeah,
essentially about 2,000 a pop.
That might be a
Found some
good
potion
also
now.
use. Megan, you mentioned you have the Misfits also had a group fund that had a lot of cash in it too.
Yeah, I think that's the 51,000.
Yeah.
We could
Could-
also sell the Misfits could sell the story of the Nether Deep. I feel like that's a
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Good idea.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, but we don't have to go into detail just in case.
yeah, I
people
feel
wanna
like
know the storyline.
Samaris would let Archie lead that since that was a lot of like
Oh yeah, he'll make it sound.
So,
good.
anyways, I killed the bosses, all of them, in the end.
Sounds like Archie.
That's not what he sounds like.
Well, you
Samaris
you
Sneak
have to
attack
work in your
the
deep voice.
moon.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I like you guys being able to do this though, because it's like I'm learning. I learned details from you guys telling your stories about like Hiromi, and you guys that was actually what triggered the time thing. Needless to say, I was told different things about that in the past, but
Well, there was a lot of different things that were leading up to that. There's a lot of mess. It was a messy time.
it was messy.
That was one of many things that happened.
But you guys sharing like some of the Misfits beats with them through these little what you can find in porn, I think is fun. In my opinion, I mean, the Morai can correct me if I'm wrong, but I enjoy you guys. And also, we don't have some of the stuff's not in the YouTube VODs, right? So it'd be kind of fun to put it into the VOD, like little details of what happened in those sessions. As you're kind of thinking about that, though, she returns. I turned a page like I was gonna like write something down, like someone was gonna tell me something. Did anybody? I don't think I was about to answer a question.
You were going to
anything,
tell
right?
us about the information on that Shogun.
Yeah, that's it, right? Yeah, okay. She returns out. Oh wait, no, there was one more little detail. Continue talking, and I think I need one more thing for it. 1 second.
So what are the items we're getting with the group fund in total? Is anyone keeping track?
No.
The items that
it's
we're getting? It's a scarf, right?
As for the group fund, the scarf, are we getting the dragon vessel?
I think
Are
if
we what?
Are we getting
was gonna
both the
attune to
scarf
it.
and the dragon vessel? Well, the thing about the dragon vessel is somebody can attune to it, make a potion with it, then unattune to it, and attune to something else at the start of the day. Which is why we were wanting it. So it doesn't
Which if-
actually.
Yeah.
Or does it
Which,
have any
if Nate is
stipulations?
okay with us doing, we could just have someone be like, I'm going to do this every morning. And unless we're like in like one of those like adventuring days where we're like, camping on the road in
Yeah.
between doing lots of stuff. Like,
It doesn't
just
say
do it.
anywhere that unattuning to it ruins the potion.
I did read for that.
It
Were
just
we
says
also
if you
gonna
don't
get the-
use it within 24 hours, it
24
goes
hours.
bad.
We were also gonna get the potions of healing, right? And superior in the
Were we?
supreme. I think. Yeah, it was 4 of the superior, 2 of the supreme.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
I don't know if we
Maybe
can.
just the
I mean,
superior.
I mean, Hiromi has 50,000 gold, and Archie is like
Are
34.
you
I
buying
think.
anything though?
I mean, Hiromi could definitely get the potions of healing. She
Okay.
doesn't. She's
If she-
she's
if-
not
if-
buying anything.
If you want to.
Yeah.
If that's okay with you, I just
Yeah.
I'm gonna max out. I'm buying 2 things. And I'm gonna max out my money on
There's
those.
also
Yeah.
again
Which
that
everyone
that-
will be welcome to use, but like Lorelai does want primary ownership of the Amulet of the Plains.
that's fine, I think.
Yeah. Mhm.
Give me the fucking amulet.
So
I'll fight you for
Hiromi's
this.
gonna buy which ones?
The 4 superior healing and then the 2 supreme.
Wow, thank you.
She just keeps collecting money and she doesn't buy anything ever.
That's
so-
$24,000.
Uh-huh. Yeah, she can do it.
Jesus Christ.
Yep. I'm so yeah.
Is nobody getting the thunder bus?
No.
I love this. I love this weapon,
I
man.
can send any money if anybody wants to
It
buy
doesn't have the
anything.
loading property. That's kind of cool.
Okay, I think I'm ready. So she returns. And, oh my goodness. One second.
Seems we just finished discussing as soon as you got ready.
Perfect timing.
Perfect. Okay.
So
got the
she
potions.
brings out a gem, very exotic gem. It almost looks like you would almost describe it as scales almost on it. The way it's kind of jagged, and it's a zur, like the color, like so it's kind of like blue. This light sky, light blue, kind of shimmers though, all different colors. And she kind of steps over. I'm assuming you gave her the gold for it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I
And-
subtracted it.
Hands it to you. And so you're able to hold it and then hear the knowledge. And it's like imprinted into your mind, right? So there's like no like, you need to remember it. And you hear a voice. So it's like just how you all orated and spoke it. So it's somebody speaking to the lady.
Mm.
I was wondering who gave him this information. Okay, continue.
Scratchy voice, deep and old. My people have come underneath an iron fist. The Sinjin rebel. Sorry, there's so many terms, and I just lost the one I just wrote down. This iron fist has blocked out the Shai Kai. He unites us with claims of glory and power and protection. But we know better. We know the secrets of our foundations. And what he builds but he races to finish. A gate. A gate for the mind flayers.
Oh,
God damn it, son of a bitch.
Shit.
The Guardians rebel, but he has shut us off, the Shy Guy. All people are voiceless, cut from us. The Kitsune rebel. I make this plea with you, sister. To find as much value in our plight as you can muster. We will need every tool and weapon. More importantly, the blade was not his to sell. You should know this. War is coming to the land of Kuzakora, to the world of toil. But the spirits are silent. Hear me, sister. And that's the end of the recording.
wow.
Shit.
That's
Ooh.
Good.
That's crazy.
Oh boy.
That ain't good.
Is Hiromi the only one who heard that message?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh
Yeah,
shit.
you just see like her face go pale and like the what kind of I couldn't want to say stone.
It wouldn't be a stone that you're familiar with, right? It's almost scaled like. It's not something we would be able to easily recognize, but it has like this bluish color to it. Like
She grips it
variations
really-
of blue, almost like sky blue.
Okay. She grips it really, really tightly, almost to like the point of it like cracking, and then she like relaxes. She just kind of like looks at everybody else, and she looks pale, like shaken.
Are you
Oh,
okay?
boy.
Romy?
Hiromi?
She like gets her emotions under control, and she doesn't know if she should offer the little stone back or if she keeps it.
When you feel finished, she just kind of mage hands it kind of back from your hand, because all the information's in your brain. You can just like, it's almost like you have a book in your brain that you can reference at any time.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not gonna remember exactly all my words, but I will obviously do my best to.
Yeah. I was kind of writing down a little bit of it. She just kind of looks to everybody else. I will speak of it later.
Not good news then.
Very slowly shakes her head. Kitsune. Oh, I didn't catch that. Oh, shit.
Harumi would know who the Kitsune is. She would know who a lot of these things are.
Yeah.
Kitsune is a
The fox spirit.
in this I'm thinking is a fox people, or like
Okay.
Yeah.
human with
Nice.
fox-like features. So like like the way I look at it, in a hypothetical world where we just did a Kuzakura campaign, someone could be a Kitsune race.
That's
Mhm.
cool.
Guardian spirits can mean a lot of things in Kuzakuran culture. Spirits, would have a very is like the fabric of their religion, right? Whether it's ancestral spirits, spirits of the land, um, guardian spirits, can come a lot of different shapes and sizes. Some more important, some less important. Uh, the Shijin. I'm actually making sure when I chicken scratch a lot of stuff, I spelled things right, and then also got make sure I didn't put things in different places. 1 second. Of course, when I put those things in, it doesn't come up. So now I remember what I googled. 1 second. But yeah, the Shijin. I think that's one N. I want to make sure I get it correct.
Shijin.
Shijin. The 4 guardian animal spirits. They are represented by 4 different creatures. There's Seryu. I'm saying that with like Spanish accent, but Seryu, the azure dragon. Suzaku, the vermilion bird. Byaku, the white tiger. Gimbu, the black tortoise. And those would be considered like 4 of the most powerful guardian spirits. These mythical guardians. They're not happy, essentially.
Yeah.
And then Shiakai. Maybe it's supposed to be this. I'm sure it's probably. I think it's supposed to be my chicken scratch. It's supposed to be Shikai. Shikai is a reference to the spirit world. Again, there's like the way I look at Kuzakura, and the way I've kind of world built it is kind of taking the Japanese mythology of like, I can't remember the gates. I can't remember the name of it, but there's the gates are supposed to represent. When they're usually outside of temples, right? Kind of a representation of walking in to a mythological, the spirit world, the spirit place, and a lot. It's real, right? In Kuzakura, right? That's a real place, and I think that also leans into how you knew about spirit walking, right? Way back when we first talked about Ishka stuff, with her needing to do a spirit walk to, disconnect with her spirit. I think that kind of plays really nicely with where that information came from for Hiromi.
Yeah.
Maybe she knew how, or maybe it's just a religious thing. Maybe there was trade, and it's the Fae for them, right? This mirror world that lives with them, but it's Japanese, right? It could be the Shadowfell and the Fae for their vibes all mixed into one. They've been cut off, right, from whatever it is the Shogun is doing.
Oh boy.
And the Kitsune as different, like a tribe unto themselves, right? Clans and such. They seem to be rebelling in their own right, or doing some sort of resistance. But then the Guardians themselves are not happy with what's happening, but they seem powerless for some reason. Maybe that has to do with, right, the Shikai being cut off, right? Maybe they are cut off because of that.
Yeah. God dang. He is making a muck of it. Do you have the 4 guardian spirit animals again? It was like write it down.
Sorry, I Googled something and then I closed it. And I need to refind it. I had some of them written down in my notes, but I didn't have all of them. So I'll just copy and paste. Also, just fun Japan knowledge. They have these these are
I like it.
Actual. There you go.
Nice. Yeah, Japanese culture is so cool. Their mythology is so freaking cool.
Mm-hmm. That was fun world building. Continuously world building, right? That's all sorts of fun ideas.
Yeah.
I'm like, we could have done a whole campaign in Kuzakura, but we'll have to boil it down a little bit.
Yeah. Right.
But we're gonna give it its own unique themes and flavor.
About to try this stuff that I won in the raffle.
Okay, I think that's a. Any questions? Anything you might have about what was told to you, like above table?
No. Nope. She got what she asked for.
Okay. I hope that was worth the price. How did Akumu react during all that?
He is like, if he could be like foaming at the mouth, he would. If Hiromi had not the mountainous control over him that like she does now, like in the past, he would have broken loose and probably like would have rampaged by now. But she's like holding him back.
So like the mind flayers conversation, invasion.
Oh,
he probably was like, yeah.
He's rolling underneath her skin.
Mm.
Any visual changes with Hiromi?
Oh yeah, you can see like her skin. It looks weird when you see it. It almost like it ripples. Like there's something underneath her skin. It's like really kind of gross. And her eyes like flicker back and forth between her and Akumu's, and like it looks like she'll do like a partial transformation, then go back, and then partial, and then go back. Like she's holding on to him, but he's
And we
fighting.
haven't seen that in quite a while.
Yeah, you haven't seen her not have control in a minute. But she keeps it down.
Very well. You, my gentleman, you haven't had. All your friends have shared. Talking to you, Warden. All of your friends, except for the gentleman, have shared. Shared stories, knowledge. Is there anything else you would like to put on the bartering table?
I have something I can attempt to sell you, but I would be more than happy to be rid of.
Attempt to sell? You have my
Knowledge
curiosity.
is stolen. Or maybe claimed.
Stolen?
Do you know of Fazul, the Lich?
Hell yeah.
Natural 1. Obviously, she probably has a really great history modifier, though, to be completely fair. I think she would. I think Fazul actually is a legendary enough figure in the Forgotten Realms and everything he's done and gotten into, because he's actually been around, quote unquote, for a long time, relatively speaking. So I think stories of him, and if she took the time to really go through her quote unquote memory bank, so even with a natural 1, I don't think the DC is very high. So I think she does. I don't think a roll was needed there. She does not.
We slayed him with the collective hand, and I took his soul, and with that, his knowledge.
So, are you offering his soul? That would be a pretty piece.
I'm offering what he knows. I don't know the extent of it, and I don't even know if I will be able to manage it, but...
And you do feel like, as you're, like, discussing this, like, the willpower of Azul, like you're probably like gritting your teeth a little bit as you kind of get your last few words out. Is it safe for you to pass this information on to me?
Absolutely nothing about what Fazul is and was is safe. But it is valuable.
I have in my possession much information about the Dark Arts. But Fazul is one... It's rare for one of such prowess to be a follower of a god. So you sharing his arcane secrets with me, spells, or his history? Are you able to?
History?
You know his memories.
No, but I have access to them. Well, I guess I shouldn't say no. Yes. It is phenomena. I cannot explain it. Yes and no.
All right. I say, it sounds like this might be a process for you. Perhaps we would have you give us a taste of what you can do, and if you can even do it, and then move from there. Does that sound, or do you want to try and dive deep into this soul in your person to untap the knowledge of such a figure as Fazul?
I can try that. Again, I don't know if it's going to work, but I can certainly try.
Very well. And she
Give
kind
me
of
a
sits,
moment.
and she like very properly is very straight. She has like a little tea cup in her hand, and she's watching you with interest and takes a little sip.
I will go down to 2 knees, and just sort of internalize. Warden's not much of a meditator, but he's gonna look inwards and sort
Right.
of focus on his phylactery siphon.
So let me know if you're okay with this kind of narration, what I'm imagining. It's not often, besides a few occasions where you've allowed, or not sometimes not even allowed, but his arcana knowledge, right? Him coaching you on this. This is the first time, in my opinion, that Warden has directed his like consciousness to Fazul, right? And has tried to probe Fazul, right? Because that's probably, you've been kind of keeping him in a box and trying to keep him in a box. So this is going to be the first time you've properly have opened the box or opened the door, I should say, and walked in, right? So that's a pretty intimidating thing to attempt. So you're going to try and like open the door of the Fazul and walk in and start.
Could I have guided myself before this?
Yes.
Okay, I will like to do that.
This will be an ability check. I'll allow you to choose your highest ability modifier and use that for your roll as we do a contested check between you and Fazul.
Sure. So just straight skill. Okay, I'll do Dex then. Okay.
All right.
18.
18. You okay with your 18 check? This is your time to use inspiration if you got it.
I will use inspiration. Why not?
You have to take the new roll. I'm just kidding. Go ahead and use it. I kid.
Okay, I think the other one. Do I roll a new, or do I just
Yeah,
use
roll a
the
new,
two
roll a new guidance. Well, no, the guidance would trigger once,
Would it
so
stay- oh, is it
it's the
two
same
either
either
way?
way. Yeah, so 18.
So 18. Oh boy.
Nat 1.
Wow.
You got a plus
Fucking
6.
Fazul.
But Nat 1. Like, I don't think he was like prepared for it, right? This is the first time you've gone in and walked through. And now I need you to make a wisdom saving throw. You're in control, but now you have access to centuries of knowledge. So this is more about you being overwhelmed by it.
Am I in the presence of Ishka?
Yes, you are.
Fantastic.
Ishka's trying to figure out how to eat like a
Really
scone
good.
or something, some little snack, and then you feel a little from his warden's like on
It's
his
plus
knees.
3, right?
Is your aura protection +3 these days? I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Is
so
that
22.
then?
That's enough as you're now in there. So I'll put it like this. So like you're in there and all of this information. I'm not going to go into too much of like me stopping because I had to stop so much to read. But you are getting into the origins of the Zentarum of Fazul. Like he is that old. He's one of the original members. So you're getting into his early memories. And right now, with your wisdom saving throw, you have given out though. Do you have resistance or anything to psychic damage? Because psychic damage is coming.
No.
Okay.
No. But I got full HP.
It's half
Ow.
of 23, so you take 11 psychic damage. Right now, you have his early memories, which is an equivalent of 10,000 gold pieces.
Okay.
Damn.
Do you want to keep digging?
Will I lose out? Is it like a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire sort of thing?
Well, if you keep digging, you can keep essentially each success you have right now
Oh,
is
I'll take
potential for
damage.
another, but you'll keep taking damage.
Oh,
And the
yeah.
longer you're in there, the more damage is potential.
Yeah, definitely.
You're talking while you do this, so she's getting it as you're going.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming.
Yeah, essentially, you guys are watching as the magic is coalescing into some sort of gem there. All right, so if you keep going, give me another wisdom saving throw. The DC,
Really good.
the DC has gone up,
26.
but you have succeeded. So you take half of 36. You take 18
Oh,
psychic
shit.
damage.
I'm gonna keep going.
All right, you just got another 20,000 gold pieces, total of 30. And then
Whoa.
this will be for like kind of the ending piece here. All right, wisdom saving throw. Again, DC's gone higher.
16.
16 is not enough.
Oh,
So you-
boy,
Would you like guidance or Anne's ability?
It's a little. I think it's a little too late now. I think. Yeah.
Sure.
He did guide himself at the beginning, and you watched him. You're like, okay, cool. He got himself and got in there, but then it's just like he's now shuffling through.
At least I succeeded the first two.
Yep. 44 psychic damage.
God damn, bro.
But then you are able to get out another 30,000 worth. So you have 60,000 gold worth of information from Fazul. And you kind of know the ins and outs and history of Fazul in this moment.
Nice.
So do I lose my Arcana expertise now?
No.
Oh. Okay. I thought I was selling that.
They're selling knowledge. They're not, if spellcaster wanted to try and
You
sell
don't-
their knowledge, they wouldn't. The memories don't vacate them or anything
You
like
don't
that.
lose the
guess.
memories.
didn't
I
know
see
if
where
it
you're
was
coming
like-
from, but yeah, it was more
Yeah.
just you confronting Fazul here was more the conflict than you giving up anything.
Methinks he's not going to be too happy about this.
Yeah, is Fazul like in this? Is he present here, like watching
Ye-
me do this?
It's a very abstract space, right? As your just
Yeah.
memories are bombarding you, like you would be seeing him in moments, and then he would like there would be a sharp change of him like in the moment of a memory, and then turning and looking at you and like screaming, essentially like this just like craziness as he's like you're like wrestling through his memories and he's trying to stop you, and you're just gathering and you're just like. He was born in 1876, and then he went into attendance, and then one time he killed his kid, and then he started his entire really dead, and then he came back, and then he was like a lich, but then he started worshiping. I don't know, like it'd be really funny. But you guys are there for a while as Borden spouts out the long history of Fazul Chambril. So some of you, everyone else gets a short rest.
Yeah, right?
He is bleeding from mouth, ears, nose,
Yeah.
and eyes at the end of this. I think.
Yeah, there would, as like a lot of you, I think we've gone past a narrative moment, but I think there would have been moments of like, should we intervene? But then you're like, Warden's hard to die. It's hard for him. He'll be fine, right? He'll be fine. There's like from his fake eyes are just bloods coming out now by the end of it.
So how much total again?
60,000
60.
gold.
Oh my god, I have 120,000 gold.
Oh my god.
That's a lot of money. 124.
That's a lot of story. I see it lines up with their fall, and he kind of looks at Lorelai because I think you told her the fall of the Zentarum from recent history. But what maybe it would be interesting, enlightening for you, I feel like Lorelai, you would be getting like this crazy crash course from a founding member of the Zentarum of maybe even deeper dark. Like I don't know off the top of my head, but there could be things in there for you to exploit or understand better. There's probably secrets in there for you to pick at. And I like to imagine like this gem and diamond doesn't look like what I mean, you're gonna maybe think it's from Warden, like what gem is Warden? But above table would be the gem of Azul, which would be this kind of, in my opinion, some sort of green gem of some sort, but with this like kind of corrupted glow to it. It's kind of like necrotic nastiness.
Ooh.
I will remember this trespass.
You're mine now.
Power play.
There
I'd
is
like you
nothing
to-
for me to trespass upon.
Ooh, I have a weird thing here for you. I need you to make another wisdom or dexterity check.
Am I still guided? No, probably not.
No,
No,
I
because
don't
you
think
used
so.
it.
Well,
I
yeah.
thought we were done, but we weren't
19?
done.
Pretty good. Not terrible.
Cool.
Ooh.
You feel him in his anger when he thinks you have your guard down, push out to try and ransack your memories. But then you're able to close the door and shut it again. But it probably would make you a little uneasy that it's a two-way door. You might have the upper hand.
Oh, shit.
Mm.
Oh.
Was that-
Rise.
Was that door there before?
Warden
He's
found
come out-
it.
He's
Easier
come
to
out a few
access now?
times.
He's peeked his head out the windows a few times.
Okay.
I think I just pissed him off.
Yep. Yep. Think you
I
did.
will definitely shakily rise to my feet. Lorelai, give me your handkerchief, please.
He hands you a very nice, fancy embroidered monogrammed
White.
handkerchief.
All of the oh, I'm going to use it to wipe the blood off of my face.
I have more. You can keep that one.
I don't want this either. Why do you have so many of these? No, don't answer that. It doesn't need an
For
answer.
moments like this. Wasn't it helpful?
Yeah.
I take it the old wizard guy wasn't too happy about that.
No. Which is not a bad thing. Well, it is, but I would like him to be unhappy in his own death.
I have to
What?
say that I am impressed with your willingness to bleed for knowledge. It's a rare trait.
Well, I made a promise that I would do anything to help with our mission, and this is helping.
This I'm asking for myself. We don't have to answer. And what mission are you on currently? You out to save the multiverse once again?
I'm gonna look at
Are you on your way to Kuzakura?
Somaris.
Curiosity.
Well,
Do you mind?
we are current mission is in Avernus, and actually I was going to ask if you might have some information that would help us.
She gives a very little side smile, little smirk. Of all the places in the multiverse,
I
Avernus
know.
is a wealth of knowledge. Many stories come, river Styx flows its shores. Is there anything particular you're looking for?
In fact, yes. Do you know anything of the General Vrakir, an Afridi who lives in Avernus?
I do indeed.
Good call.
I have more than a few stories of Rakir, of Avernus. Is there a particular story you would wish to know?
Any story that best showcases his weaknesses.
War stories. Roll a d20 for me. Essentially, on a 19 or 20, somebody has spilled the beans on him.
It was almost a 19.
Anybody want to give
Oh.
inspiration or anything like this?
I have inspiration. Let me see.
Obviously, it's a long shot, but it's like somebody's coming up here. I'm imagining like
ahead.
maybe somebody's come here and been like, "Fuck this
Sure,
guy. He's
Yeah,
got
yeah,
this
take
piece
it.
of shit."
Thank you.
Come on.
Oh my god.
Oh, give yourself inspiration
see.
back.
That's true.
Hey, we farmed it.
Can I donate that inspiration back to Lindsay?
Yeah, 1%.
You
Yeah.
don't have to do that.
Okay. I want to.
Okay. Thank you. We tried.
Thank you.
What did you roll the first time though?
A 3 and a 1.
Oh, that
Get him out of
sucks.
the way. Get him out of the way.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't have any personal accounts of his prowess or weaknesses of that sort. Just broad strokes, I believe, of some of his personality and ongoings in Avernus.
Would you mind sharing some of that? Obviously, we're willing to pay, but even if it's knowing what to expect when we encounter him, maybe, broad strokes of his personality you mentioned specifically. Ways he likes to talk to people versus ways he doesn't like to be talked to, right? That would be helpful to know.
I can provide the eyewitness account that I have. And then you can see if there's anything you can glean from it.
Okay.
I have an eyewitness account of a trader who has
It's
had
helpful, yeah.
dealings in Avernus and some of the different powerful figures down there, particularly when it comes to objects of rarity and interest.
That would be really helpful because we're going to be hoping to negotiate deals in Avernus.
Very well. For this information, 3,000 gold.
3,000 wasn't. Hiromi's was only 1,000. This is broad
I-
strokes, non-specific
have-
information.
And how much do you think your information is valued? People,
What do you
different
think?
things all.
Just
Go ahead and roll. Well, roll a persuasion check there, Lindsay. You are. Remember, you decided. Yeah.
We're not. I know.
Still
sorry,
go and roll a persuasion check though. You're good.
We're
you're
not supposed to bargain.
Mhm.
That was a genuine reaction. She's not attempting to negotiate here. She was just honestly surprised.
Go and roll.
We have
Go and
beef
roll a
lot of
persuasion check.
business, though.
26.
26. Different information has different value. If you rolled over a 30, she would have been charmed, essentially. And not been, there would have been a little room there or it would have been an interesting interaction, to say the least.
Oh no! Now my curiosity is piqued. Alright.
Well, I'm happy to pay that amount, and she forks over 3,000 gold.
Okay.
Actually,
Obviously
I don't
it-
even think she'd say I'm happy to pay that. I think she'd just take out
Shove
Yeah.
1,000 gold with no words and
I'd happily pay all that. Here you go. Makes you count it all. I've got it all there. No, Somaris is just. Or you just like nod.
yeah.
I have the direction where I want to go with this. So I thank you all for bearing with me as I kind of like, I wasn't planning on doing this. I'm like, oh yeah, this is like literally people will be telling like their perspectives on things. So it's up to So I need to like put myself in the shoes of somebody who would like be talking about it, and what would they be talking about? I mean, where do I even begin? So she goes back and brings up going or a gem. You recognize the voice as you hear Neffy's voice in your mind. Yeah, piece of shit. All right. Where do I start from? So I've had some dealings with this guy. He's a freaking general, whatever.
Wait,
He's
this
on-
is Neffy?
Neffy is talking. Apparently, Neffy has talking about this man in the past, and so this is what you're kind of
We
gleaming
could have
from
just
it.
asked Neffy.
Well, he's a bit of an asshole, very full of himself, but he is a collector. And your ladyship, I know how much you like collecting. Oh, I assume maybe you've heard of him. Maybe you've crossed roads. He seems to like high value items too, just like you, like that, stuff like that. But I have a connection with him. I've talked with him in the past. We've done some dealings. You know my origins. You know how dangerous it is down there, but I do what I can. He's not very strong. I'll say that. When you're down there, you'll see all of these devils, and they're powerful. There's this guy who's like a storm, and then you got Zero, who's a fallen angel, who's flying around. He's kind of, relatively speaking, I think I could take him, but his strength is in his magic items, and
We've heard
his
that
army,
before.
and his gold. You give me like a good anti-magic thing going in there, make all of his stuff go pop, pop. Probably can just give him a little step 1, 2, kick him in the balls, take what you need to. But I think the most important information, your ladyship, that you would like to know is about some of his items that he has. And I've had my eye on one particular one. I think there's going to be an opportunity for one to get it. The Book of Vile Darkness.
Oh.
The Book of Vile Darkness. Said to be written by Vecna himself.
Mhm.
I want you to know. I would like to bring it to you.
I bet that's where this is going.
I think of all the people that I know. Mount Celestia, well, there's protections there. But even I don't trust those things. I'd be more comfortable if we could go into your private collection.
Hey, Neffy?
I think that would be the safest place for it, but that could be a discussion for another time. And he kind of goes on to more and more broad strokes of Vrakir as an free. He has some magical abilities. He really likes fire. Obviously, he's just like conjures elements and stuff. But again, like the biggest thing was like focusing on his magic items that he has.
It's interesting that she's selling some anti-magic armor, isn't it? An item that could cast anti-magic field once a day. Anyone need some armor?
Go and roll a history check there, Somaris.
Oh, I have a +0 to history. 6.
Okay.
Could maybe could never mind.
Samaris is the
say-
only one that heard anything. It's up to her if she ends up sharing what she heard. Because remember, you know everything verbatim. So if at any point you say, I say everything to everyone I just heard, then I would be happy
Yeah,
to.
I mean, at some point when it's
when it's
she's able
appropriate,
to,
yeah.
sure.
Archie's pretty dumb about most things, but he's like pretty brilliant. He's actually like a huge history buff, which is kind of funny.
It's funny.
Anything about like fae, fiends, undead, he got a +6 advantage in history. Where he's like, oh yeah, my dad made me read about him. And he's
Good thing Samaris would
very
never
close
think
to
that
it.
about Archie, so she'll never tell him.
I know.
I'm just kidding. Of all people, I think Somaris would know Archie's strengths and weaknesses and stuff. But yeah, so I think that kind of covers most of it. That his power isn't his magic items. A lot of his ability and protection is around his forces themselves. So like, since maybe isolation would make him a pushover, but again, yeah, it's his resources that are the danger rather than him himself. Again, I the more I'd RP'd, probably would get the sense that Neffy thinks he's really vain, very full of himself. Not Neffy, though he is maybe, but right here is very vain, full of himself, and is, is definitely attracted to rare items in his own way. Right? Seems to be like some. You're interacting with like multiversal, like we collect some of the rarest items in the multiverse, like figures right now, like competitive antique stores, high-end antique stores. I think that kind of gets into it. You asked about immunities, and if he's like, he's immune to fire. Get that? Well, I bet you would never guess that. I mean, like in his thing, because he's a fire elemental, essentially a fire genie. Hope that was worth the information on the go.
Smaris would look back at Nebby and give him.
Nebby's not in here with you.
Oh God, Nebby! I've been calling him Neffy all night. Nebby.
I think we've all kind of. I think it's like it also is probably you've all been calling him a little bit of different. I'm sure I've been calling him a little bit of different things. And as with any NPC, it's just like, no, my name is Nebby. All right, Neffy. All right, Nebby. That doesn't matter. I think me and Megan though have been calling him Nebby.
No, Nebby is definitely right.
Yeah, but he came in for a meeting before you guys got there, and then then you guys came in and he's outside. He did not join you for this meeting.
Well, I will be asking him why we just paid $3,000 for information he could have given us, but that's besides the point right now.
To be fair, he did tell us some of those things. He told us about the magic item thing. He told us about like he's got all this gold and stuff, but like you could probably take him if without all that stuff.
Well, here's one thing. Correct me if I'm wrong. Neffy doesn't know anything about you guys wanting to fight him. He only thinks you guys are signing up for the Hell Ride and to get souls coins and to cash out. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I've also assumed when you guys have private conversations about what you're going to do and all that he's not there, right? So like,
no, and like I feel like this has become like an established thing of his where he does not give us the information we need, and we're like, why the hell didn't you tell us that? So it tracks. It's funny.
No, that's funny. I just wanted to be known that in my brain, so just make sure we're all on the same page. Yeah. He has not been told anything beyond your plans of we're going for a ride, right? So just keep that in mind for your own narratives and such.
Yeah.
Okay. Any more stories you wish to share?
I think Somaris would look at Archie and bring up ask if he wanted to tell, like, together the story of the Netherdeep.
Yeah. When you turn to Archie, he like had like one finger that was like inching towards something, and he like snaps it back. Oh yeah. Yeah, I can like from the beginning.
Sure. I feel like
it all started when I was a boy, and he's like starts pacing with like his hands behind his back. And he's like I'm not going to give like huge detail, but
it really did start with you as a boy though, so it's like it's a joke but also the truth.
He starts it off like kind of like dramatic, almost like making like a jest over it, which is like his personality. He tells like very extremely dark, gruesome details of like his childhood, but he's
Or I will say this, I'm not saying you're going to get into exact details, but with Archie's story, I really do a trigger warning. Like child abuse is actually a big theme, unfortunately, of Archie's childhood. So just everyone to be aware of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's very much like the I make a joke about everything, even though it's like horrific. And he like I would basically just goes through like his childhood and my father turned me into a werewolf to make me to augment me into a how do I put this a moon fueled battery pack for a demigod.
Well, let me. If you do you want me to help you, kind of like remember some of the
Yeah,
details. So
sure.
his father, Archie also learns later on, essentially forced his birth to coincide with, in their world there's a red moon. There's more than one moon. There's this red moon with all these legends around it. And his father pretty much forced a birth of Archie during a full moon of this prophetic moon, supposed to do something special. And then also had him turn into, or against Archie's awareness and willingness, turn him into a werewolf to also then make him more connected to quote unquote the moon.
Mm-hmm. And then he goes on about how he met everybody in the Misfits and how he got entangled, how his health started deteriorating, how he found out that his blood had been infected with ruidium, and it was slowly killing him.
Yeah, a
It was
lot of
all
her
like
a lot of the interesting details would be around Ruidus, the moon, and then Ruidium, the red crystal. Yeah, so that would be like starts weaving into the narrative of Archie and the Misfits.
Mm-hmm. He would say like how he formed like a mental connection with like a trapped demigod, and he was like slowly losing his mind and basically came became part of the Netherdeep. This place called the Netherdeep, and
Mm-hmm.
he's just like he's glancing over these details. How his father was behind it all, how his father tricked him, how his father, convinced him that he had killed his own mother, and his, werewolf-fueled rage controlled him until he finally killed his father. And yeah, I didn't want
Well,
to go like too into detail for the Netherdeep, but
I'm enjoying kind of just mentioning out just for the perspective of like the craziness of your guys' story on your half,
mm-hmm.
because they get to this place called the Netherdeep, and there's this ruidium, this red crystal associated with this. I guess, yeah, I don't want to do spoilers for the Netherdeep, but
Mm-hmm.
Archie's story tied to it. His father essentially manipulated him to becoming a connection to this moon, brought him here to go through this crazy ritual to become, and there we even had them fight super jammed up, mutated Archie in the fight. His father literally manipulated him through chosen memories of like, you killed your mother and you did all this stuff, and like
Yeah,
emotionally
because
manipulated
you
him
couldn't
closer,
control.
that Archie
Yeah.
left the party and they had to like rescue him in that moment. And
Mm-hmm.
Somaris, I remember, I don't want to take away your moment, but it's like, yeah, we were fighting the moon, and then I got to sneak attack the moon. There's like a fictional, like there was like a moon representation in there, and Megan's famous like, can I sneak attack the moon because we can target it? I was like, sure, you get to sneak attack the moon. But yeah, and for those on the Morai side, though, I think they take away those like, man, they went through some crazy shit themselves, and wow, Archie. I mean, this is me projecting, but it's up to you where your characters take it. But Archie's story is very dark and very
Yeah.
tragic. It's a very
It's
big
like staring
contrast.
at Archie.
Yeah, it's a huge contrast to his personality and like how he doesn't take things quote unquote seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think if anything, his story would be like pretty closely related to Warden.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know
kind
how
of thought
Warden
about
would
that.
react. Yeah, I don't know how
Mhm.
he would react to that just because they're kind of cut from the same cloth almost.
And without spoiling key plot details, you get through the end of Netherdeep and what happened there with some of
Yeah.
the figures and such, and she would be very interested, with this Ruidus moon and the Ruidium and all of that. So I think it's a very valuable story, especially from a world like Exandria, which its lore is maybe it's a more fledgling lore worlds of knowledge and stories in the D&D multiverse. So she
Yeah.
would pay 30,000 for that.
Ooh.
like sprinkled in all of Archie's personal stories with very interesting world details of Exandria.
Oh yeah, yeah. He would describe like Ank'Harel in high detail.
Mhm.
Ank'Harel's like, oh, it's so cool. It's like one of my favorite cities.
I was so happy that I think you and Megan both were like, I saw Ank'Harel in the Critical Role or in Vox
Yes, that
Machina.
was so cool.
That's
was
what I
like, oh my
hoped
God,
for
it's
that
animated.
campaign, so that you guys could see
Yeah.
it through the other
Mhm.
media and be like,
Oh, it
I've
was
done
so
this stuff and
cool.
that.
Yeah.
So I think
I
I've
think
told
Warden-
everyone. Sorry, I won't harp on it. But if you ever listen to campaign 1, they go to Ank'Harel, and
Mhm.
this is not a huge spoiler alert, but there's a big giant hole in the ground of Ank'Harel that they poke around in, but they never go anywhere with it. They never explore it, and then they just move on with the rest of their story. And then, lo and behold, Call of the Netherdeep kind of comes back and addresses it. So I thought that was a really cool moment.
Yeah,
Mhm.
That's all.
cool.
I was hoping they would. That would be way too much fan service, but I hope they would have show that in Vox Machina just for the lulls of it. There's the hole.
Yeah.
There's the hole.
There's the whole. I don't know what to do with the 30K. Should we put it in the? It's. I mean, it's
Party
like a
funds.
little bit of Archie's story, but I mean, he doesn't want to keep all of it, or we could split it all.
Put in party funds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll add it to my note.
Add it.
Warden will like
Um,
sidle up next to
so s-
Somaris at some point during that story and be like, "How is he so?"
Wait, sorry,
Archie?
my internet keeps cutting out. What did you say?
Oh gosh, the delay. Warden's gonna sidle up to Somaris at some point, like during that story, like when Archie's talking, and be like, "How is Archie so? You know, Archie."
Not a fucking clue. You
Okay.
ever figure it out? Let me know.
I turned out way worse.
I wouldn't say that. Just different.
Don't patronize me.
To be fair, I don't know that this is good for him acting like this.
He did almost.
He
sell
literally
himself
started
to
off
a-
the story like with his, hands behind his back. It all started when I was a child. Like he's like starts pacing the room like.
Does he take on like the
my,
noir
my
detective
father put me in
accent?
a cage for years. What?
Does he take on the noir detective accent?
Yeah, literally like that's
black and
he
white.
did-
He's smoking
yeah,
a cig.
yes, he's like looking out the window, smoking his cigar.
Well, I am
My father
narrowly
kept me in a
curious.
cage.
Like when you are touching on all the more traumatic moments, does Archie have any sort of like that facade dissipate, or does he just keep up? And I don't say facade like in like, oh yeah, Archie puts up a facade because his personality it is what it is. Like, but does his personality change from that a little bit more? Like, oh, he's being silly to like, does he just keep that up throughout the whole story, or is there moments of him
Mhm.
having this kind of like maybe more tender reflection? I don't know what the right word is.
Mhm. Yeah, so I mean, I think those who know Archie, I guess, I mean, the Misfits members, they know like his personality and everything, and how he's the jokester and everything. This is how he deals with his trauma. This is like he. This is the only way he can express it is by being like kind of nonchalant about it. And there's like moments where you definitely see like a little flicker of something where it looks like he's like haunted by it, and then he flips back into being nonchalant about that kind of stuff. He's definitely like he's scarred from this, but this is like they say like some of the funniest people in the world have been through the most shit, and this is like
Robin Williams.
yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Mm.
This is how he deals with it. But yeah, and there's like little telltale signs, like his eyes will get kind of vacant and then snap back, and he's definitely not normal, but he's not bad. And it's like it's one of those things where he feels comfortable to share it with everybody. In the past he may not have, but I think with like you guys he feels safe to share it.
Well, now I feel like an ass. Thanks.
That was the goal. Just kidding.
I
Yeah.
don't mean to break the ice, but I'm gonna head to bed. I stayed a little longer just to hear Archie's story.
No.
Oh yeah.
Thank you,
Well,
Lauren. Thank you for trooping as hard as you could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good night, guys.
Good night, good
night.
night. Good luck. Good luck with the rest of your week.
I'm always
Um,
confused with. Oh, sorry.
Oh, no,
Oh,
you're good.
thank you. Sorry. I didn't mean to back out immediately.
We know
Alright,
you
bye.
couldn't. Bye bye.
Bye.
Nah.
I'm
What were you
always
saying, Rob?
confused with her background because her window always looks like it's the middle of the day.
Oh, it's so funny. I looked up too and I
Oh.
saw her window. I'm like, it looks like it's daylight outside.
Like,
That's
really
funny.
bright. I don't
Yeah,
know
it
what's up with
definitely.
that.
That caught my corner of my eye too. That's funny.
There was one little thing Archie was going to do, and I think he
Mm-hmm.
probably would have done this. I mean, maybe even like later, or before. So when everybody was, sharing and gathering gold and everything, I've kind of like mentioned he's been like going around and like almost touching stuff. He's looking for something that he can use his grim psychometry on. So
Oh,
something
God.
like something like
Ooh.
I know I'm throwing this at you, like okay. Says like a
What about?
he's so I'll pop it up. It's in roll 20. So
Right.
mysterious relics or places touched by evil.
Yeah, you tell me. Tell me what you want to try and touch and try to use
Like
it
a
on.
deck of dimensions
know.
could fuck you up.
I know he's trying to like he's looking.
But
for
specifically for
something-
like like funny enough, isn't it like for like its bloody history though?
Yeah,
Right.
it's supposed to be so discerning secrets surrounding mysterious relics or places touched by evil. Well, I guess okay, so
So it doesn't
mysterious
really
relic
say
or
bloody; it
place-
just says secrets.
Yeah. Or places touched by evil. So it can be an object that I'm touching or a current location. To recall information, I have advantage on it at a high roll. It could cause my character to experience brief visions of the past connected to the object or location.
Funny enough, we usually don't
That's
make you
usually
roll,
so.
right? We usually just have you do it because it's cool.
What about the bloodshed
Yeah,
blade?
right.
I think it's just a history roll. But he's seen all these objects in here, and he's like, which one looks the most fucked up?
Are you going to try and do this without asking permission before touching anything?
He was
Or letting any of the rest of us know so that we can get distracted.
Well, to be fair, I think Somaris, I think you've literally caught him almost twice, like almost touching something, so you know that he's like itching to touch something.
If you want to do,
Yeah, I
do
think
you want
at
to do a
some
sleight of
point-
hand and perception check contested?
Right? Yeah, do that.
If you think Archie's trying to like be sneaky and like obviously could do it either stealth or sleight of
No,
hand.
I don't
here.
think he is. No.
You're just doing it out of instinct
yeah.
then. Yeah, so I
Yeah,
think it's up to
uh-huh.
you, Somaris, if you see this happening because he's not intentionally doing it. It's up to you if you want to roll for it or if you just notice with your passive perception.
Yeah, I think it's more of
Oh.
him just like he's almost being like drawn to these objects where he's just like, I want to touch it. I want to know what secrets do you have.
17.
You mean 22?
Oh, percent.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you for sure see him. Like
Um,
he's itching to touch something.
I think I'm imagining this is happening like not when he's telling a story, so when someone else is
No.
talking.
Yeah, right.
I
He
think
casually
she
picks up
like
like a human skull and starts talking.
yeah, she's trying to be like touch
Shakespeare.
down.
I like
What'd
imagine
you say,
Archie
sorry?
finishes talking and telling a story and like she's like, oh, that'd be this much gold. And you're like, cool. And you just like turn around and just walk away without saying anything to anybody else. And then you're like looking at
exactly.
everything.
Yeah.
Be like, what are you doing? You're gonna get your fucking hand cut off. Or
That's
worse, expelled.
You think they're gonna cut my hand off?
If they keep
Oh,
you
oh.
alive.
All right.
What are you
fine, fine.
doing?
Listen, I need to touch something in here, okay? Look at this place. He like looks over at I can't remember her name, or I don't even want to try to
The lady.
say it.
Lady
The
Lily.
lady. Hey, hey, lady. I'm just kidding. Yeah, he goes up to her and I know you like deal with stories and that kind of stuff. would you be willing to pay money if I can find out secrets for you? Maybe an object that you're curious about?
Man, good play. That's cool as shit.
Roll a persuasion check.
Oh, fuck me. No, Archie.
Isn't Archie really charismatic?
No.
Can I give him advantage
That's
by
Hiromi.
If you want to back
talking
him up,
about
yeah.
how yeah,
I
like
got a +0.
he can read some real dark shit about places
actually-
and things.
Saved us
actually
more than
pretty
once.
Not people, not the full noun spectrum, just places and things. But yeah, it's really, really good. Yeah.
Really fantastic.
18.
Wow.
You should definitely get advantage.
Oh yeah, he 1% did. Curious. And there's this history of objects. Brought moments? What is it that you see exactly?
It's kind of random. Sometimes when I touch stuff, I get like little visions of the past that surround it.
Smares goes into like White Fang manager mode, and she like puts
Yeah.
a hand on her knee, and she's like, he gets the most incredible, detailed visions, tragic backstories, bloodshed. You name it. If it happened and it was really bad and sucked, he can see it.
It's a bit
I'm-
like a mental triptych, if I recall correctly.
I'm very curious in all of my items. If you have, I know many of their histories, but there always could be more to learn. Like you said, bloodshed. Perhaps we could focus on the bloodshed blade.
I was thinking that.
Well, maybe that'd be appropriate.
Definitely tell you about the last person it killed.
The what blade?
Bloodshed.
This
Oh,
one
right there
here.
with the blood stain on the handle.
Oh,
It,
God.
it literally
Like
looks like
memory
blood
lane.
is like spectrally, like it like dripping off, but doesn't like leave a puddle anywhere. It almost looks like blood is constantly running down
Smares has been eyeing this one.
it.
Oh, God. All right. This isn't going to be pretty.
I like to imagine though, Archie, as you get closer to it, it like does. I'm not trying to steer this away from Somaris, but you being a blood hunter, it reacts to you, right? As you get closer, like it almost like the rune on it begins to glow slightly, and all the blood starts almost like coalescing towards you, like drifting spectral blood droplets start kind of going towards your blood magic almost. Maybe something similar in its nature.
Okay, all right. Yep, the blood is active.
He likes you.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Do you want me to roll the history?
Not really. And if you'll let me excuse my brain, I don't think I'm going to be able to improv a whole history of fun bloodiness of the bloodshed blade off the top of my head.
Good.
But you do, right? You find really interesting historical like moments in the history of this blade. I wish I had more creativity in this moment, but I think I've spent a lot
You
of
don't
it.
have to. You don't have to.
Yeah.
Like, that's an impossible ask. It's a
You-
really cool history.
I love it when he gets to use his ability, though. I just think I've done too much improv for my brain. I'm getting a sugar crash. But it's a very bloody history. It is made for blood, right? Maybe it's gone through Avernus. Maybe it's been in wars. Here's one where we roll a history check.
Straight roll.
What do you get?
Well, Fey Fiends and Undead with advantage, and then also the
No
Grim-
advantage. So
Okay. Shitty roll.
15. You don't get more information from it, but you do explain all to it, and she does seem very interested in what you did and some of the parts beyond it. There seems to have been some pivotal moments of some sort, wars, battles, and you describe it as best as you can to her. With your 15 though, I'm just kind of like showcasing that as of like how much information were you able to tell her she was unaware of, right? So higher the roll, like the more she was opened to more information. Curious, I did know some of its history, but that shows even more curiosities. 5,000 gold for that.
Anyone keeping track of this?
Just so you guys know, I'm not. I hope you're writing it down for every time I tell you guys something.
No,
Yeah.
I've kept track of the group stuff. I think Archie should take the 5,000.
Agreed.
That was like 100% you.
Can you do that more? Or is that your only capacity for the day?
I think he can do it as many times as he needs to.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like,
I thought it was.
it literally doesn't say anything, like nothing that I.
I
have
guess
to
that's where the check
use.
becomes involved. So like maybe
Yeah,
I'll give you a
yeah.
freebie because this was cool, and then after that it's like you have to do like history checks. So like
Yeah, exactly. And I think like if something has a lot of history surrounding it, I think he might have been drawn to like maybe like the most significant or like evil thing.
that's why I
That's been
did the
involved in it.
blood. Like a lot of the stuff in here is actually
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
not
Neutral.
neutral, not very like there's a holy avenger in there, right? If not, that's
Yeah.
like good. And that was actually kind of the more that and the bloodseeker ammunition. Some of the stuff might have
Yeah.
more like a heroic history, like the belt of cloud giant strength, right? It being what it is, like it probably has a crazy history of being such an
Could
item.
be either very bad or very good.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, it's just like whoever has it and using it in the moment, who killed who for it kind of thing.
So are
Yeah.
they ripping people in half or doing
I
justice?
just realized that Somaris could probably extort Archie for more business. He could literally be like a rare artifact, like person who just finds out the
returning
history
right
for him.
now.
Yes. God damn it.
Yeah, the
She
bloodshed
would
blade though
never
definitely would have
extort
a
Archie.
like a
Bring
darker.
your mysterious relics. Figure out its history. For only $5,000 per item.
Speaking of my brain reading its capacity or reaching its capacity, I think a 10-minute break so I can get some
Mhm.
blood sugar
Okay.
and
Then we
we
can
come back
finish out
into
the
it.
last hour. Maybe we can like quickly like make our buying decisions and then go
Mhm.
con some devils or something. I don't know, just throwing it
Bar
out
fight.
there.
Some
Bar fight.
ideas.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, 33 after the hour. I'll be RB.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yep. Okay, so we have between what I have noted and what Lindsay had noted, we have 160,000 gold for the group.
To deal with
Um,
from both groups, group funds. Sorry that we contributed 5,000 and you contributed 50, but it's fine.
It's okay.
We
Okay.
were broker.
We won't hold it against you.
I also have
Um,
120,000
Well, no, our
gold
story
that I
got
don't.
80 of that, so there's that.
yeah, you definitely got more from your stories. But it's not a competition. It's okay.
Or let me see, take a step back and chill.
So, okay, as a group, we talked about Platinum Scarf, the Dragon Vessel, and now the anti-magic armor is also on the table.
And that can be
based
any
on-
type of armor, right?
Mm-hmm.
So who wants that?
Can it be plus arm? Like, can it be +3 armor?
The anti-magic armor?
Yeah.
I'm not muted right now.
I could
If it's
wear
mo-
armor. I would say I should wear that. But I
Magic
can't.
armor. Light, medium, or heavy?
I don't, unfortunately, no. Just because the anti-magic field is so freaking strong. It's such a
Sure, I just wasn't
cool
sure. Like,
ability. And people can't counterspell it. It's an 8th level spell.
That would make
Good
it
question,
so,
but I
like,
think, or I'll allow it to be plate armor, or I'll say this: I'll allow it to be whatever armor you guys want it to be off of the list there. So if someone's like, well, I'll end up wearing it, so let's get one that's good for me, I'm fine with you guys changing it that
Yes.
way.
Hiromi wears plate, right?
I think so.
Heavy
think
armor.
so.
So she, all her attunement slots
Yeah.
are taken up though.
I think.
Is one of them taken up by your armor?
Mm-mm.
That could be good. Anti-magic is fucking nuts.
Especially, well, considering the fight we might be going into soon. If we
Yeah.
could shut him down even for a couple of turns like that,
Unless
that
her
would be
attunement slots are all filled up with important stuff.
incredible.
So let's look at
Yeah.
anti-magic field too as a spell, right? Just
Yeah.
because I think honestly, I don't know if I've ever really seen the spell used. I usually have only experienced it with like the beholder fights. So let's actually see
Yeah, it
what the
says the
spell
properties
is
and
like.
powers of magic items are suppressed in the sphere. In the sphere.
And it includes your own.
Yeah, so I think
Yeah.
that's why I wanted to
So
point it
we
out because it
want
surrounds
melee.
you. And emanation is a new word in 2024. That's just kind of like it's a circle around
Yeah.
me.
Hiromi would be
Self, I
probably
see.
the best person to do this because she's the only one who doesn't cast spells and who would get close to the.
Or
The
does she
backpack.
have an attunement slot you're willing to give up?
Yeah.
Okay.
What was she? Like my necklace of.
I-
Or wait. No,
Some,
I guess
at least
not.
in the short term.
I
Yeah.
am buying the Moonblade. That is something I am purchasing.
I could unattune for my ring of evasion.
Dang, dispel magic doesn't even work on
Or-
it. That's wild. But it is concentration, anti-magic field. That's good to know.
Yeah, so that makes it hard because then you're going to get hit all the time if you're right up there.
But I'm also resistant to a lot of different shit.
Which ones are you not resistant to, so I can plan accordingly? I want to shut up.
Let's see. I got radiant, necrotic, fire, bludgeoning, piercing, slashing, resistance for Hiromi.
Good
And then
lord.
Archie is resistant to basically all that plus necrotic and psychic. But yeah, Archie still has like a couple spells that he would be casting, so.
Mhm.
And then Ishka is a paladin, so we need her spells.
Yeah.
I
Does
could definitely do
Hiromi have
it.
magic weapons that she uses?
Technically,
I
your
don't know,
sword
that
would be.
Yeah.
It said specifically that just like a +1, +2, +3 weapon doesn't count as like if it's not like magical properties of the weapon. Like if the weapon
armor?
can be used like mine to cast a spell, like the dragon breath thing that mine does wouldn't
No,
work. But it
I
would still
I thought +1 is counted as a magical property because they're a magical
Yeah, it
weapon.
says a
Oh,
+1
I misread that.
longsword in the sphere functions as a non-magical
That armor
longsword.
seems very double-edged.
Oh, it is.
does.
It's very
Yeah.
situational, 100%.
Yeah.
I don't know about that then.
No, I'm not,
I mean,
yeah,
it's
I
nice,
agree.
but
I think there's too
that can
many
really
ifs,
screw stuff up,
downsides.
though.
Yeah, because I don't know what my damage, because the sword that I use, yeah, it's
And for
damage me.
50,000,
Yeah, it's
Like,
in
what if
if that
Hiromi
didn't
gets like
work,
thrown in the middle of our
Yeah.
like casters?
And two, then if whoever was wearing it was close enough to get the magic off of him,
right? We couldn't
then
cast
he
it on
also
him.
couldn't be, yeah.
I don't know
So,
if
I
it's
think
worth it.
it's not helpful at the moment.
okay.
I mean,
Agreed.
Yeah, I'm just trying to. In the memory, he said that he had the oh fuck, what was it, the Book of Vile, the Vile Book of Darkness? Or
Yeah,
whatever?
which you all know is one of the rewards of the race,
Ah,
which he's like, and
Why never
Nebby made a
think
point
it.
of like, I get that with your
okay.
guys'
He's
negotiations.
using it for power, though, right? Or
You
is it
don't
just
know what
something
he's
that
using
he
it
has
for.
on him?
Yeah.
Mm,
As far as I know, you might have suspicions, but
yeah.
I think I'm gonna nab that potion of speed.
what you heard him say is that he was going to give it. Well, Somaris knows this, so I know me. I don't care when you tell him, but right now Somaris knows that Nebby told the lady. It sounds like that he is going to give her the book for
Yes.
protection, is what he has said to the lady.
Yeah. I'm also thinking, like, I mean, Hiromi could sacrifice, because I think, like, I have a magic weapon. I think it just does extra psychic damage, and we can negate like the +1s that it brings.
I
So
don't
if I
think
can,
that-
if I
it's
can grapple him and like hold him down and like keep him down, because they said he was weak, right? And it was just his magical objects that made him strong in the army.
Magic objects and his resources, like his armies and
Yeah.
war machines, kind of an extension
Yeah,
of
I don't
that.
know if that armor.
I think for $50,000 for 50,000 GP, and you removing an attunement slot and like potentially sacrificing your magic items usage, I think it's so situational, and like everything would have to work out perfectly for it to work. And like honestly, I think we can take him without it.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe I'll eat those words in a couple weeks, but
And Kayla might have spells too that
counterspell?
could help.
Load
Yeah.
up on counterspell. I mean, I guess you can't counterspell.
That's
magic
true
item.
too, right? Like thinking about spells going into it. So if Hiromi is grappling, cool, he can't use his stuff, but like fireball,
Neither
lightning
can he.
bolt, nothing's targeting him. Yeah, it's just a fisticuffs fight in that space.
Yeah, that's true. That is
Yeah.
It
true.
might be more
She
worth
could
it to
just
make a plan to like
break him.
pickpocket his magic items,
Oof.
right? To remove them that way.
Fun fact, it says ongoing spells
Better.
except those cast by an artifact or a deity are suppressed in the area. There's some funny little workarounds on that, but I think I would call the Jewel of Three Prayers an artifact, just so you know. I don't know if you guys
Yeah.
have anything else that would categorize that.
No,
But
not
an
that.
interesting thing about a deity,
Right.
well,
And like,
the new channel divinity for clerics got reworked, and it's like I call it the baby wish, right? They can cast any cleric spell with a channel divinity. Like they can just do it if it's an action. I think there's a little bit of restrictions to it, but I'm like, would channel divinity count as a deity casting that spell? Doesn't matter to you guys, but I'm just thinking that through. That's all.
yeah, I feel like if a deity like had direct influence in something.
I think the intent there is like, I'm the Raven Queen, and you've come and tried to use anti magic on me. That's not going to work because I'm a god, right? That kind of that vibe.
I think
Yeah.
that's fair.
Because a lot of deities are intentionally like most deities don't have stat blocks, stuff like that. They're supposed to be kind of above the rules. Lady of
do that.
Pain is like that, yeah. So
Yeah.
so that a mortal can just go like anti magic. I murder the
Yeah,
god of
yeah.
death.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Exactly. It's like this like omnipotent being is totally useless once I get within 10 feet of him.
I think I don't know if you heard me. And I'm gonna nab that potion of speed, and I think I'll do one of the potions of vitality as well.
I'm gonna drop the potion of speed price. 15 is really juicy. I'll drop it to 10.
I'll pay. Yeah, sure.
Greater visibility. I think
two
I'll
of
keep the
the- I'll do
15 because
two
that's
vitality
really
then.
good.
the speed and 2 vitality, just because they remove exhaustion.
Yeah, I suspect we'll see this, especially in the new monster manual next year, that we'll see exhaustion be applied
That's
a little
kind
bit
of what I'm figuring.
as a penalty more often. I'm definitely going to be looking to use it just because it's a flat, easy thing, but we'll see.
All right.
I will
we
get
got
the
it.
mirrors, communication mirrors, and
Here's a
the amulet. So that's 30. I will just remove that from my platinum. Starting to run low on platinum, you guys.
More?
No, I've only got like 1,000 something left. I'm fine. And just 26,000 gold. It's fine. I'm okay.
Are you okay though, Lorelai? Are you sure?
I think I can deal with 36,000 gold. I do have something else to ask her if she has. I know she deals with like antiquities and stuff, but I noticed that she has the abracadabras,
Abracadabras, yeah.
which is like a chest. Does she have any other like ornate, beautiful, even just like antique, like collectors items, like beautiful large trunks or something like
Is
a
this for like
traveler's trunk?
aesthetics for your like
Aesthetics. Yeah,
aesthetics?
that it's not, other than I will say I would like it to be large enough to fit. Yes, I would like it to be large enough to fit a
fit a
person.
body? Yeah. Thank you for saying that. I'm so happy. I
Just like a curled
unfortunately
up, you know.
that's really not in her bailiwick. Like unfortunately she wouldn't be
She could
doing just
recommend a
mundane.
place.
Yeah, but she'd be like, if you're looking to shop, Sigil is the place to shop, for sure. But there will be an interesting conversation about your guys' access to Sigil when you're ready for that.
Okay.
Let me just go and touch on that actually. Just I won't RP it out with her, but she will, speak to you all. You saw that Nebby had a bell, and so after you all are on good terms, no one made her upset. So she would offer to you all your own crystal bell, which it is you can use it to once a day to get to her ship, the Swift Incandescent, and then actually I don't think you need to. You would just, I guess you would use the belt in the portal to then go back to where you came from, right? But there is some like rules and regulations around it. And that is, it's like, she's not always in Sigil. And she doesn't want you all to be using it for your convenience. Like, oh, let's go to Sigil. Let's go on the lady's ship. She would not encourage that at all. It's for her business.
This is for appointments with her.
Appointments for her, either setting appointments if you can't do sending and then coming back at the appropriate time, or it's for her. And so she does say like she travels the multiverse, so you can find her anywhere. So don't rely on it for Sigil, and she doesn't, even if she is in Sigil, she wouldn't want that. But everything said, Lorelai, just go ahead and give me a good old persuasion check. Okay, 26.
Happily.
You can. No, you're even 26.
Actually, 34.
34. So through this though, you have one window on this trip to explore Sigil if you want, and then you return. But it's not something she would encourage. She does not allow in the future. So she would give you recommendations for places in Sigil to go find this antique furniture that you're looking for. And again, this was I think with your persuasions, and no one stepped out of line. Archie,
very respectful.
You guys are able to. She would even offer some of the GIF crew. I don't remember what they said not to call them. GIF crew
Gift baskets?
To accompany you, to help you with anything if you needed, like bringing things back.
So considerate of you. Thank you.
Lorelai, she would also speak to you of. I'm just projecting here, and just so you can get to it if you want to use it.
Yeah.
The Bank of Abathor Incorporated.
Yes.
And it literally, like, this is hard lore, and it's incorporated in everything. A bank that stretches the plains, and the biggest bank probably in the multiverse. She'll tell you where it is in Sigil. If you like, that's the thing though. It's like, this is the time to do it. We don't have to make a big thing out of Sigil unless that's what you guys want to do. That I'm not saying no. Like, you guys are thinking about doing like weird stuff. Like, well, instead of Avernus, if you want to dick around in Sigil and find out, what's going on
We can fuck around and
potentially.
find out in Sigil.
Yeah. But yeah, the Bank of
For some reason,
Abathor.
Sigil scares me more than Avernus.
It's what?
For some reason, it scares me more than Avernus.
Bigger fish.
I agree. Bigger fish.
I kind of
do
agree with that
way
sentiment.
bigger
Not to scare you
fish.
guys from it, but Sigil is an intimidating place for sure.
Yeah, I
Yes.
know. I got that vibe.
Could I
Was it the
above
Lady of
table tell
Pain?
you guys a potential con that I have that would work well in a place like Sigil and it wouldn't work well as in a place of like Avernus?
You want to con
Yeah.
Sigil?
Let's not con Sigil, please.
Maybe just like a little one.
No.
God damn!
Let her cook, guys.
I swear to God, if I get the Lady of Pain on our doorstep.
Okay. So like obviously I'm gonna go get a fancy trunk. I'm gonna open an account at this bank. And I think we should find a really fancy place to stay for the night before we go back tomorrow, because the race isn't for like 2 more days, right? And you know, I'm going to have a great many very important, powerful magic items that I've just purchased in this very nice, fancy trunk of mine. And when we go to stay at this very nice, fancy, expensive place, I'm going to need them to store this in their most secure room possible. Wherever they store the most important things that people are leaving here, I need them to store this here because look at all of these incredibly potent magic items that we just bought from this very famous wizard lady seller. And inside that trunk, Somaris will be waiting to climb out and then pack everything else in it, and we can leave the next day.
First of all, this is not a con. This is a heist. We're talking-
And
No.
This is a heist.
Before you guys go too much farther, I don't think you're having this conversation around the lady, right?
No.
this is
Yeah.
like a fast forward.
No.
just
That's in
so
the
that,
future,
you know,
yeah, for you guys to get to it.
But
I'm setting that
just so
scene
to-
for you guys. You guys are maybe on the deck thinking about your options, quietly talking off to
I
the
would say
side.
at this
You
point,
want
maybe
to
like walking
you
in
want
the
a
street, I
Trojan
don't-
horse, the Bank of
I
Abathor?
don't-
Not the bank.
I love this idea. You guys are
thought you might.
being.
My only problem is,
could sleep
like
in a
you
trunk.
said, we were just buying stuff from this very, what is the word I'm thinking of? Popular dealer of magical items. And you want to use said magical item to rob a fancy establishment.
My stuff would get robbed too. I would be just as completely devastated as everybody else, because
If they
obviously
find
Samaris
out.
wouldn't just hang around there. She'd get the fuck out with this trunk full of good shit. Do we have like a
The hang up
budget?
is if we get in trouble
Yeah. Hey,
Mhm.
DM,
Get
what is
held
the
up.
crime for grand larceny and sigil?
and we miss the hell ride.
I will give you that information if you ask around. But go ahead, Samaris. Samaris, I think, is bringing up also a good point for you.
Excuse me, sir,
Yeah.
walking down the street. What is the cost the problem with grand larceny here?
An ooze is like the Lady of Pain. Kinda keeps walking.
Yeah, fuck that.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Just the Lady of Pain. Okay.
No,
as
that
incredible as that plan
he would say
sounds,
something about
that is-
archons. We'll go into more of it. I'm sorry, Samaris, go ahead. I think you
No,
do want to
that's-
get your
yeah.
point out.
Yeah, I
Maybe,
think I-
maybe after.
Maybe
help,
after.
yeah.
If we didn't have somewhere very important to be, I would be more willing.
Fine.
maybe
go
once
start
we
a
like
house.
secure
Yeah.
Una's soul coin and such, you know.
Sure.
Hiromi also decides that this is the good time to mention that, yeah, the Shogun is building a gate to allow mind
Mind
flayers to.
Did
take
you just
over
like
Korea.
state this very matter of fact in the
Yes.
middle?
Oh yeah.
We're
Yeah.
discussing like the potential heist and like, oh, by the way.
By the way, yeah, the Shogun is building a gate for mind flayers.
The who is what now?
The what?
The memory that I listened to, it was an update. The Shogun is. Let me get my notes. Okay.
Let's just do a refresher on what everyone knows about your story too. Just remember, the Misfits came here because of a part of Hiromi that they had a part of Akumu started being really weird, and those who were interacting with were getting a vision which I think was pretty spelled out. Mind Flayer fleet going, prepare the way, and they're like, fuck, does Hiromi and Akumu know about this shit? And that's what kind of what brought them originally to you all. I don't remember any more details you guys might know, but that's definitely the crux of it. And then so you guys were debating going to Kuzakura to confront whatever's happening here. This prepare the way. That's everything you all your characters did know before this moment. Continue.
Yeah, she just, let's see. Let me, I'm going to recap what I wrote down. She's giving information of everything that she heard. Rebel, Iron Fist, blocked out. The Shikaya are blocked out. The Shogun claims, glory and protection, but we know what he builds. He races to finish a gate. He's building a gate for the Mind Flayers. War is coming to the world of Toriel. And yeah, she just kind of looks up and he's building a gate. That was what I heard.
Well, fuck.
Shh.
Yeah. Fuck.
That's bad news.
We should get there. Do you need to go there?
I think we should need to get Una's coin and then immediately leave to go there. I mean, that was where our next stop was, right? But
Yeah. She'll mention that the memory that she heard was from 4 months ago. So.
You also... Oh my.
Yeah, she was like,
I'd like to cast sending, please.
Oh.
Okay.
I would like to send a message to Arnott. And I would like to ask, remember when I asked you to put out feelers about a civil war in Kuzakura a year ago? Right when we first started, got together, I have a letter, an actual letter that I wrote Arnott, the second week, right after it was revealed, that you had, when Hiromi first shared, why she was adventuring was to, gather forces, allies to help her. I sent a letter to Arnott asking him to, find out as much as he could. And I heard, little bits and pieces, but, I'm just so you know, Nate, what I'm referencing in the letter, or in the sending. Remember, and I asked you to find information on Kuzakura's civil war. Heard things are escalating quickly. Potential interplanar interference. What do you know?
Civil war finished. Authoritarian rule by a new shogun. Knew nothing of an invasion. Local or interplanar. Last didn't get to speak to the ambassador when he attended the ball.
You ate the ambassador before we could learn.
First time I ever did a narrative roll. That was so much fun.
He threatened us.
He did.
I still have his
He didn't threaten you. He declared an honorable duel to the death. Okay?
Yeah.
That's different, Rob.
Same thing.
Not eat him? Come on.
Okay, I relay that information to everyone. Is there anything that we could ask him to find out? It'll probably be at least a week before we can get back. With the travel time and stuff. Is there anything we should ask him to start, information he can start gathering to prepare for when we get back?
Does he have any influence in Kozukura? Does he?
No, I mean, he has lots of contacts everywhere, especially because she pauses for a second. He actually, I don't know how much you know about the business that Arnott did with the Zentarum. It's mostly arms dealings. And she like kind of looks uncomfortably at Hiromi. He actually sold a like a very large shipment of arms to the Shogun when he was. Yeah,
It's interesting you would omit
I didn't
that.
know you back then. This is actual full on lore that I've been sitting on for 2 years.
1%. I don't know about it, but I fucking love it. Like I don't think I knew that, but I'm
I'll
like that
send you
makes.
these letters.
No, yeah, I
I'll
love
just
that I
say
that
got.
so
it's
much.
not the
That's so
first time
fucking
you
good.
have, knowingly omitted
That's so good.
information
Just
about the Zentarum.
honestly, I had forgotten. We've been really busy. I just I'm sorry. But yes, so he has some contacts with like the quartermaster. Is how he has some information he can get, but clearly the quartermaster is not telling his arms dealer from another country about their planned interplanar invasion of the world.
I think that if he doesn't know anything, he should not attempt to get information. Because if anyone he sends is discovered, it is going to.
They would die. But
Well,
he
they
has
would die, but
spies.
it would also put them on their guard. They don't know we're coming.
I'm trying to remember when Hiromi fought the blood dragon. They were being sent after her to like recover Kumu and Hiromi.
That was the impression, and I'm pretty sure at the time he like kept telling you like you don't know what you're doing. Like you don't know what or like
you don't know. Yeah, I wrote it down where it confused the hell out of me. He's like, yeah, I can't remember what he said, but oh, you are not ready. You don't know what you do. That's what he said to Hiromi.
I love that you guys take notes.
I know. I know. I was like, damn, that was a long time ago.
Warden will pull out his sending stone that he hasn't used in a very long time. I also have people I can reach out to if you want me to.
Oh.
I don't know how reliable it's going to be, but I could try.
In the memory, and in Nate, you said something about rebel. Is that
The
is that like
Kitsune were rebelling?
Okay, the Kitsune.
I think so. Also, it was kind of reference of the spirits in different capacities were trying, but they were kind of cut off. Yeah. But yeah, people are rebelling in certain department or certain areas.
There are those who are rebelling in Kozakura. The guardian spirits, the Shikai, the Kitsune people. We could reach out to them.
Do we have any contacts with any of them?
Maybe I could try to contact the Harpers.
I could at least ask Arnott if he has. From the sounds of that, it doesn't sound like he knows anything about about any interplanar activity which would cover those beings. It might be better to work other angles.
Oh, shit. This is a flashback. Man, long time ago, Nate. What was her name? Kimmy? I can't remember. It was a long time ago.
Shimmy?
Oh my
Shimmy.
lord.
Ashimai?
No.
Not her.
No, it was even before that. Remember in Golden Fields?
It was
She was from Kozakura.
Yes.
Oh, that
I
wasn't
know.
me though.
That
I
wasn't.
just remember
was-
that.
That wasn't Nate.
I remember you
Right.
had a
Gosh, I
connection there, like
forgot about
above
that.
tape. I'm pretty sure the Kazakura
right.
person was actually in the
I
adventure.
have that name.
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
good notes from that era. Let me.
But
go
I'm
back.
happy to answer questions about that. I vaguely remember that being a detail. So if you have questions about that, we can. I'm saying not to address it. I'm just reminding you, like,
Right, yeah. Well, I mean, I think she doesn't really know where she's at right now. I think
you guys took a quest from her,
she-
right? Because I think she was a
Yeah,
quest. She was a quest giver essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Hiromi went to her family's place, I think, in Waterdeep, and
Yep.
she was given some items from her.
Oh God, I did do something
Yeah.
with that, didn't I? Do you remember?
I'm pretty
Man, Jesus.
I know.
Ah.
I'm pretty sure that was like when I got like the horseshoes of speed or whatever. Like it was like that
Well,
one.
funny enough, I wonder if she gave you things that are just in the adventure. Let me see if I can.
Yeah. I think so.
I
See if
don't
can
remember
find
Nate's
them.
brain going, "Ooh, I can plant some intense things for that." But if you're looking for her as a contact and in consideration for information,
Yeah,
that angle
exactly what I was
100% there.
going
If that's
for.
what you're kind of,
Okay.
yeah, if you're working for that,
Yeah.
I would say she's definitely something that is on the table as a tool, potentially, right?
Okay. Yeah. She was definitely in Golden Fields. But yeah, she would be going like thinking about her as a potential contact just for Kozakura. Okay, I can't find her name anywhere.
Next scene? No.
Akane. Akane.
It's funny. I just found Z Liang's quest.
He may have changed the name.
By the way, we got the
Yeah, it says like
right.
take the quests. I'm saying this so you Z gives the characters a black pearl pendant that she keeps hidden to bring to Kaldar Marskil, a head butler of House Thon in Waterdeep. Well, he'll give them a gift in exchange. Vendors on the ghost it's pretty clear. It's not something just made him and so he's here, so covers the thing. He just has to return him. Make sure I rolled truck. And this case it says roll on a magic item table, so I don't remember that's what I did.
Yeah.
And for you to get the maybe that's why you got the horse things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine going whatever name you have. That's just I think the reference that was in. So will you tell me what that name was?
Akane. Here,
Akane.
Yeah, that was her name. I think I wrote in my notes she fled Kozakura due to her uncle being killed from the war.
Okay, yeah. So then your DM at the time probably was already planting seeds too for what was going on there. Like, oh, there's a girl, perfect.
Yep. Okay.
Cool.
Sweet. Yeah. So she mentioned her. That's the only Kozakura connection that she would have here. She doesn't have. She has like no contact with her homeland right now.
Yeah, remember when we looked at the world map, Kozakura is literally Australia from the United States. It's like on the other side of the planet. So crazy.
Yeah.
How far Hiromi's come.
Yep.
Hey, Nate, do you know how to reveal hidden text on a Word document?
I don't think I've ever had to.
Because the letters I'm going to send you, they have hidden text. My Word thing expired, so I can't actually.
Oh yeah, I think I remember when
I can't even see
I'm
it.
pretty sure you shared some of the stuff with me before, but I just like so long, and you know how it was. I was like just catching what
send them
details
on.
I could. Yeah.
And if you can unhide it, if at some point you can unhide it and send
Yeah,
it
I
back
use
to me,
Google
that would be
Docs.
great.
I'll try though. I'll give it a shot. I don't have Word. I
Because
don't
I can't even
think.
copy it.
If he's not able to, I have Word on my work computer.
Okay, thank you. I'll include you in that thing.
But Megan can't know the secrets.
That's true. But it's not. It's old stuff.
2-year-old
so a lot of it's
secrets
not
for
relevant
details that
anymore.
you just revealed to all of us.
But yeah, you just go into font, and then there's like where it says like superscript, subscript. There's like a hidden box.
I remember having to wrestle with this before. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I'll send those along so you can have that info. But yeah, I think that's super urgent that we get there as soon as possible. Should I? Yeah,
Oh, and also remember above table, that information. I'm not trying to narratively we talk about it, and this is something I've been trying with parties and groups, and they seem to enjoy it. Like I flat out will tell you above table, don't feel like you'll be punished for not going straight to Kozakura because you now know the big plot point, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if that hurts suspension of belief, but I prefer you guys just as players
Yeah.
to be able
Oh,
to
yeah.
take things.
Would
It's
rather not
kind of
have anxiety.
RPG where like things will trigger when you get to that place. You know, like
Mhm.
some things might slowly
less you
move, but I'm not
learn.
going to try and punish you, right? In the
Mhm.
background. But
No, that
obviously,
is appreciated.
Yeah. That's happened before where we've had to like make decisions and like
it's a lot of
stuff has
pressure.
happened because we haven't gone
Mhm.
somewhere and we've like missed an opportunity. Like we had to choose which quest to do and it was like
Yeah.
if you chose this, you didn't have time.
If
to
that
do
ever
this
was a
next time.
case, I would tell you guys. It's different because everything we're building, right, is everyone's backstory stuff, right? So it would be different if it was just like a world event not tied to it, and like if it was like a sandbox, it'd be different. But it was also me going, all right, here's everyone's kind of their path, so we all kind of have an idea what it is. So anyway, you understand. I don't need to keep going on to it.
Can we don't have to RP it, but Lorelai would like to go buy a fancy big trunk because
Yep.
she wants to pull this trunk heist at some point.
You'd also find interplanar deliveries here. So if you just want to like drop 20 gold to get your mirror sent to Arnott or your aunt and Gertrude, I'm totally fine with that.
Yes.
Just lippity
Yeah.
swipping it.
Speaking of, did we finish the buying? I don't think we actually did.
No.
No.
Um.
And maybe let's focus on that real quick, just because I
Finish
know
that
we're
up,
because we're getting close to 11:30.
Also, I think I might have done my math wrong. So I definitely have 80,000 because 81,000 Misfit side because we had 51,000 and then I think we got 30,000 from the Netherdeep story.
Right.
And then I think it was 60,000 for the
85 from us
85. Okay. Oh, maybe I did do it.
because it was 80 for the story, and then we had 5 from our group fund.
Okay. So 166,000 then. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
So
We could buy a
definitely
country.
plenty. Yeah, plenty for the platinum scarf and the dragon vessel. Who said they attuned to
I'm wearing the
those?
scarf.
Okay.
I can.
You bought the scarf, Rob?
Mm,
Well, we
I
bought
think
it as a group.
we all. Yeah, I
With-
think we.
Or
With
I'm saying you,
money.
but you bought it
Yes,
with it.
I'm wearing it.
I'm
yeah.
doing like a strike through on it, just to.
I am buying the moon blade as well.
Okay.
You
Personal
have
funds.
enough attunement slots because I
Mhm.
managed to free one of mine, so that I can.
I have enough.
I can take care of the dragon vessel then.
Okay, so I could take 40,000 for the platinum scarf from ours. I mean, it's all the same,
It's all
but
the same. Yeah.
all the same from our 81,000. Then if you want to take 30,000 for
Sure.
the dragon vessel from your 86,000.
Okay.
Also have 30,000 I can toss into anything we need.
We don't. It doesn't sound like we need. I think we have enough group fund money.
Did Hiromi still want to get the potions?
Yeah, yep. I put the potions in. I put it in my inventory just so I wouldn't forget, but I subtracted.
Does
it
Lauren
and
still
put it
want the
all.
deck of dimensions? Not your characters.
did.
Does Lauren?
Oh, I know. I do want it in real life. Archie has a deck of dimensions.
You did get that? Okay.
Yep. I
Good.
already
That's such a cool one.
oh yeah. I subtracted the
Hey.
gold and added it to inventory.
That would be a good bank heist one.
Hey,
Just
wait
saying.
a minute.
Samaris will get the Nolzur's marvelous pigments.
If we didn't have so much backstory stuff going on, I would definitely see if there's any good high stuff for you, Lorelai, and like do a side adventure.
Samaris is also has fresh on her mind that Una died during a heist. So
True.
that's
True.
she's tempted, but that is
That's a fair point.
sitting up there.
Oh my god, this deck is so cool every time I read it. Like it basically.
So I've got
missteps
Platinum
of
Scarf,
six
Moon
cards.
Blade, Dragon Vessel, Deck of Dimensions. The only thing I've taken off of the list. This is also I can.
The,
All the
potion of speed is gone, and 2 potions of vitality are gone.
Potion of
all the potions of
Speed.
healing are gone too.
1 for sale. Potion of Healings. All potions of healing, Supreme and Superior.
Yep.
Okay.
Like 25,000.
The
Oh, here.
pigments as well.
The pigments. Marvelous pigments, yes. what I'll do is I'll just
Sorry,
make sure
distracted you
that
from the
no, you're
healing
good.
potions.
This will that way Lauren, Ishka, and Charlie can look at it in case they want to go back and retroactively buy anything that's left.
And I took out the money for the amulet as well. So
The
that's
Amulet
all
of the
for it.
Plains, you did get that one? Okay.
Yep. And the mirrors alongside.
Oh yeah.
Did Hiromi get the superior healing potions also?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll take
Yeah,
that off.
I bought everything out.
Actually, I can't. Never mind.
I'm not pushing you guys on it, but just remember greater invisibility. It gets beyond, or let me make sure that the item is like that. I'm pretty sure it'll be like the greater invisibility spell, which I think is an
Or you
hour.
can cast spells and attack. And
Yeah,
still stay
without it
invisible.
breaking, right?
So
So
it was only a minute.
it might be. It probably
The
should
combat,
be,
not
but
utility spell, definitely.
yeah. Spell. What's greater invisibility? Yeah, just like all melee. Assuming the person doesn't have like true sight or something like that, you would have like a attack advantage on all your attacks. They couldn't be counter spell. There's a lot of it's a very juicy boy. Not pushing it on you. I'm just letting you guys know. Make sure you knew. Yeah, it just says like up to a minute. It's like you have the invisible condition until the spell ends, and then like you're just go have fun.
You know what? I think I am gonna pick that up, and I'll give it to Calum.
You hear that counter spell. You're like, slide that over there to Calum.
Well, it'd be so sick if you could just fucking pop spells out while invisible.
Dude, greater invisibility is a great spell casting spell. It's kind of there. What's there for? Assuming I just don't give everything to true sight now. Cool. I'm gonna. You have that in your inventory, and then I'm just gonna say, well, when you remember, we'll tell Charlie, and then officially move it over. Yeah, because that's a now a greater visibility spell that you can cast as a bonus action. Right? That's so strong.
Amazing.
So
Is it
strong.
concentration?
Because it's a potion, you're not
Yeah,
concentrating
I
on
don't
anything.
think so.
Yeah, and like
Yeah,
from
that's strong.
I think
That's real
funny
strong.
enough, I think the greater invisibility, and maybe I think it was. I can't remember if this one actually exists or if I was like, I want this to exist, so I willed it. But yeah, essentially, you drink it, you get this description of the spell without having to concentrate or anything, kind of like
Yeah,
haste.
that's powerful.
That's a big boss fight
Dang.
thing to do.
15. You guys are gonna have so many like high level crazy. Like I think you guys still have like a giant's potion still that's like a legendary version of that. One day you guys are just gonna that, or we're gonna get through this whole
Who has that?
campaign, and you guys are never gonna use the items because it's gonna be the video game. Like, well, we might need it in the future.
Yeah.
We might need this in the future.
That's same.
I'd rather have it
Ideology.
than need it and not have it.
That's why I'm like,
think Caleb has it in
don't
his
get
inventory.
consumables a lot.
Yeah, right. Potions of healings you have to use, right? Like when it
Oh
comes
yeah,
down
because
to
wasn't it when we were in like about to fight the Zentarum that I finally used the metal of strength or whatever?
Oh
that
gosh.
I got in,
Yeah.
like,
She got it
the
in one of the
second
very
session I
first
ever
sessions we
played.
ever did. Yeah, I was still early for
Yeah.
all the Misfits. Yeah. She had held on to that for like over a year and a half.
Hey, it came in handy.
And it was a basic little buff, like one little tiny little buff. And she finally used it. Yeah, yeah. I love it. I love it.
We
I
now
love it.
have 2 legendary items equipped. That's pretty crazy.
That's wild.
Crazy. So I got well, Hiromi has all the potions, so she's got 3 supreme, 4 superior, 1 greater, 3 regular.
Well, we're restocked for a while.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'll allow us to like touch on it again next week if anybody like, I do have some gold. Is there anything else I want? Anything else anybody want to like hard have a conversation about with the items?
No?
I think
I'd
we're
like
good on
to-
that.
Attempt to make this a business connection, right? Like,
Yeah. Mhm.
just I don't know if you want like a persuasion roll or something.
Yeah, I think
or
a persuasion roll here.
Okay.
It's pretty.
to just be like,
well-
I'd love to work with you in the future when I
Mhm.
find cool things or when I need to perhaps purchase things. Maybe you could help source them for me, kind of thing.
Yeah, go and roll a persuasion check. I think a
Okay.
minimum.
Okay. 31.
Yeah, 31. I was thinking. I am trying to think of like, and like even with a minimum of 26, she would be interested, right? Yeah. So you have now created
30 is
another
even like a more
connection.
realistic.
Yeah, you have created another
Okay.
connection,
I need to start keeping track of these
and she could be a source for like, yeah.
rare magical items that could help
Mm-hmm.
in a specific type of fight.
Or information if we ever need it.
my first crazy high level trader person. I love her.
She's really cool. I really like her.
I love how the story stuff turned out because I wasn't really. I was like, oh yeah, she'll be trading in knowledge, and I'm like, your guys' knowledge would be really story based, like your experiences. I'm like, I love how that turned out. That was fun.
Yeah.
One little thing I want to touch on, like an above table, just because we've been talking about like backstories and like some of the other plot lines going on. I want to talk about leveling up real quick. We're leveling up at a slower pace than I want, right? In my opinion, you guys have already leveled up once, if not twice, like probably once in the boneyards with Sharon and all that, and another one after you guys beat the storm.
That was a pretty epic fight. I was surprised we didn't level up.
Unfortunately, I'm having, just with how much story is left, I'm having to really pace it out because unfortunately I can't like get you guys to level 20 with Somaris and then go on and do Ishka's story and then do Kalem's story and then do Hiromi's story all at level 20.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
That'd be unfortunate. It's just too much. Like even now, some of the guys I'm doing with level 20, like we're getting like through like 3 or 4 sessions at that level just because of how much it is. So I just wanted to apologize. We're not getting there, but wanted you to know there's a reason behind them. I know you guys understand.
Totally makes sense.
All right. That's how these games go.
But at least you guys have access to a
Rather-
trader
I
now
will-
that can at least give you some fun things to explore.
I would
try to have
far
it.
rather it be that way than not.
Mhm.
Yeah, then like get super over leveled and like
Yeah.
these confrontations don't feel as heavy as they should.
And just
And you
long,
like
very
forget like
long.
what you all have because
Combat's
much,
fun at high
yeah.
level,
still
but
trying to remember I have uncanny dodge. Like,
exactly.
Also,
I
we
don't need
just
anything
switched
else.
over to 24, so leveling
Yep.
up
Yeah,
now might
yeah.
be
that
really
too.
confusing.
at least that felt like new toys, right? It was like kind of soft
Yeah.
level up. Like at least it
Yes.
was.
That's cool.
I'm not. I mean, obviously, I want to level up, but I'm not really hankering, so it's not a huge deal.
Correct.
yeah.
And so some of them might get more beats, but like just like end of Samaris's stuff, we're gonna level up for sure, right? And then kind of like more like the conclusions, because what is that, 3 or 4 storylines as it is, right? So one of those might end up having 2 in it, but right now, it'll be whichever one you end up. I'll be able to scale anything appropriately. But that's all I wanted to say about. Just want you to know aware of it, and it's just the unfortunate reality of all the story we have to get through. We had to get all this wrapped
Can
up by
we-
May, so.
Can we wrap up Sigil stuff?
Yeah. So you guys you get your crate, or I see your crate, your ornate chests.
My ornate chest. I'll just like tell me like an appropriate amount of gold to drop to
A
buy.
beautiful chest. I'd say like 40 gold pieces.
Okay.
A beautiful antique.
Really stunning. Very
Mhm.
expensive.
40,000 gold.
And then
How
I'll
much do you
drop
have
it-
left?
If you want to make it a ornate chest of holding or something weird like that, just holler at your boy.
Chest of holding.
If anything, it's less practical than a bag of
I love a
holding.
chest
So
of holding.
holding
Uh,
multiple
Uh,
chests.
it's like it really
Um,
wouldn't be that expensive, and relatively speaking, I'm thinking like 1,000 gold for a chest of holding. Just throw it out there.
Well, I think, I would be more so interested in like a chest that held 2 to 3 times its size, right? Not a huge extra dimensional space, like kind of like the handy haversack or whatever.
Can you
500
not
gold?
afford 1,000 gold chest?
I don't need it.
Can you afford it?
Yeah, of course I
That's a big
can.
chest.
You have a pretty good chest already.
I have a great chest.
Oh,
I don't need to
What?
spend money on my
I'm sorry.
chest.
What are we in Avernus for?
Does the
I'm
chest
wearing
hold
a
multiple
sickle.
people?
Anyway, is there an in-between option between the
Or I mean, yeah, if you want like a 500 gold, like it's a little extended
Slightly
in there.
expanded.
Yeah.
like a little bit of an expansion charm's been cast on it, like twice the amount.
To answer Archie's question, it can fit 3 bodies in it now, but it looks like it would only do 1.
Perfect.
Okay.
3 bodies is just what I needed.
Maris will be your tester of Shulgral to see how many can fit. Archie, get in here. I need your help.
Is it like a bag of?
yeah, what's
of-
in there?
Oh no. Is it like a bag of colding where it preserves anything within?
No.
Oh, so those bodies are rotting.
I'm not gonna keep
It's hard to breathe in
stuff
here.
anyway. Uh, and then I would also just like to I'll spend an extra 500 gold to outfit my room on the bastard
Yes.
to my level of tastes, just so like narratively speaking in the future, as when we come in to when I can invite someone into my room for tea and I have a nice like silver service that with some beautiful armchairs, like I just want to be able to, like, I'm just letting you know, I want to invest the gold so I can realistically like
The only
have
little
a really
detail,
fancy
I
room
100%.
that
The
everyone's
only
jealous of.
the GIF crew is just like, well, I didn't know you were going to be helping with so much, but we'll get the porters all together and make sure no one harasses us on the way back to the ship.
Thank you.
Hopefully,
Um,
actually no. The weird thing, I'm not going to punish you, but like the funny thing is like you're gonna have to try and get through all that through the teleportation circle together. So you're just gonna like shove all of this like antique, beautiful furniture.
You stand
Have
in
you
the
seen-
wardrobe. You climb in the trunk.
Oh, you could
Have you
probably
seen those
store a lot of it
ladies
in the
at the airport with
trunk.
like 3 suitcases.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Archie's all red in
But
the
it's
face trying to
furniture.
carry all this
You
shit.
need a
Yep.
U-Haul worth of stuff.
Yep, it's furniture. There's a couple nice new dresses in there.
Jesus
She
Christ.
doesn't get. Yeah, she's just gonna go on a little mini shopping.
Yeah, this
spree,
would be a
guys.
really fun. Like, if you guys want to think about this for your characters, like Lorelai's doing, like Sidgul, while you're here, could be a fun place. Like, I want to get exotic fashion for my character. Like obviously, I don't care what you
That's
choose,
cool.
but if you want to get kind of weird with it,
Oh, now that you
Well,
mention it,
I'll toss some
um,
stuff on the Discord throughout the week.
what was
not
it?
that this is like shopping beyond that, but the platinum scarf, I like to think it's a
You can read, you can redo
Blindfold?
whatever. Yeah.
and like the I don't know what they're fucking called. I don't know anything about Naruto, but like the little square, the little metal things,
Mm.
the scales are like 3 of those
Cool.
on
Love
it.
it. Lorelai, who do you send the mirror to? Like, because I think we'll need to know who exactly has it. Is it your aunt or is it Arnott?
I sent it to my aunt.
Okay.
Because this is primarily going to be used for Manthar family business. She will through the mirror. She will schedule with her aunt or like her personal. She's probably going to hire a personal assistant, to like help manage this.
Real
stuff.
quick, I just want to place it in your brain just because of the time. I don't think it'd be beyond you to find another set of mirrors alongside here if you wanted. I would just keep the same
Wait till you
price.
hear the end of the sentence. 'cause
Okay.
then, yeah.
Okay.
So I'll have this personal assistant who can easily make an appointment to bring the mirror to Arnott's house to have my daily, because it's an hour of conversation daily.
Yeah.
So I can have my personal assistant go over to Arnott's house with the mirror so that I can have that conversation with him, handle details with him. She can take it back to my aunt, who is going to be using, it for day-to-day operations of the
Okay. Sounds good.
business.
And the way I would frame it is, I'll
They're
be.
like 3 streets away.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, quote unquote 1 hour, kind of like sending stones can both do one charge. I would allow it to be quote unquote 2 hours, right? Because it's just an open
Got it.
channel, but each one has a charge to use. So 2 hours of conversation a day, essentially.
The way I was framing it when Nate and I were talking earlier is that I'm going to use this like I am the CEO of a company that's like, on a business trip in Japan. So like I'm calling it weird hours via
Yeah.
Skype to like send
You free to
instructions.
hop on a quick call?
I've got so and so on the line for you.
Careful, there's been bad things happening to CEOs recently.
Oh, well, yeah.
Careful.
I didn't do it, so it's obviously not going to be the same. But I think I made a joke about when I was at in Asheville visiting the really big house. Can't remember the name off the top of my head right now. Biltmore, thank you.
Biltmore.
I really wanted to take my phone and record myself like Arnott sending you a message. And then I was like, how can I figure out a way for Arnott to like send this kind of item to Lorelai? I'm like, darling, I'm here at the Manthar estate. And I was like, never ended up pulling the trigger on it, but I was daydreaming the whole time we were there
so
writing
cool.
ideas down. So it was funny. Thought that was cute.
Yeah. So she's
Like, how
now
do you-
she's now able to virtually attend all of her business meetings, which will hopefully speed up the, ability for her to.
There will be about
Work on
20
her
minutes of
business.
tech and everyone making sure microphones are on and videos actually going through latency issue.
Does Lorelai remember to unmute herself?
It's chronically a problem. I've got to set up my background so it looks professional.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
I
friendos.
buy
Forgets
set
to
of
turn off the
curtains.
magic mirror and stands up. She's in sweatpants.
So
She's
does
not-
anybody
she's not sweat.
want to do anything else you want to save? Like, we can still pick up in sigils. I don't think we're shutting the door, but any details anybody wants to kind of push through the door before we end the session.
I want to open an account at the bank. How much is the minimum deposit per?
For
What's the minimum
simplicity,
deposit?
you open an account with the bank, and I've been trying to figure out how I want the lore to work for that, and I haven't really concrete like where's their quote unquote offices in the Sword Coast, which they would. It could
Right.
be Waterdeep, maybe it's Baldur's Gate, I don't know, but
Probably disguised as
yeah,
something else.
you open an account. I'm not worried about funds. We can count that
I'll
as
put
part of the
10,000
setup
in.
cost. Okay, yeah. Before
Just so that I can issue checks across the planes. It's very important.
This is really your like environment.
I am. Are you kidding me? The center of commerce of all of the planes, and you think I wasn't gonna dig my little claws in here?
You kind
On
of
that
scare
note,
me
who wants to
sometimes.
go drink?
You know,
Let's go
Archie's
drink.
like laying on top of the ornate chest, like asleep.
Let's go get into a bar fight, you guys.
First round's on me. Hiromi, all of your drinks tonight are on me, I feel like.
She looks
throw me drinks. No.
no, she's
Yeah,
like
oh,
shoulders
yeah, she
slumped.
doesn't.
He needs to
I don't drink.
tonight, maybe.
All right, friendos, 11:32. So we end on that
Wow.
note as you guys are kicking around cons and heists and such inside of Sigil, helping Lorelai get all of her new. You guys are like, I got a couple items, and then there's a train of Lorelai and porters with just a house worth of U-Hauls going behind her, mansions worth of U-Haul for the bastard.
Yep.
My little box of pigments.
Mm-hmm.
You're carrying them.
GG's.
just-
As far as
yeah,
I know, we're
right.
playing next
Good
week
night.
on the 17th. Yeah, everyone have a good night.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Night,
GG's.
guys.
Bye-bye.
Night.
Good
Good night, guys.
night.